low impact but heavy like weights. So it's a lot of like stretching, but you're doing it super slow. You're doing a lot of movements, slow and control with heavy resistance on them. So it's really like you get to second stage muscle failure, and they think that's good. Like in class, you're supposed to be shaking. If you're not shaking, you're not like.
Really do shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold this shit in some weird ass pose. Hold it.
No, just imagine like you sliding on the reformer and you like you're using your own weight and you're like this. Like even the men that come to class be looking crazy.
I know, man. Yeah, I know. That's gotta be.
Me and BRIL being looking crazy.
I know women are a little bit more graceful. Right. I feel like I won't look crazy.
No, you wouldn't look crazy, but you be struggling. That first class,
I'm being a bit sweating,
going crazy,
about to go home.
Right.
No, facts, man. Just to let y'all know, we live, man. We live. Welcome back to the Epicenter podcast. That's DAEPC. Damn, I messed it up this time. I ain't messing up. I don't mess it up. DAEPICENTRE. That's the British way, in case you didn't know.
I fucked it up too. Damn, the UK way. We fucked up the intro, but it's all good.
Fucked it up.
Y'all know what's going on by now. Y'all know how the intro goes.
Hell yeah, man. The voice you're hearing right now is none other than Sir Your Highness Mr. King BRIL, and to my left I have my dog, the greatest host in the world, Mr. Girls Like STERL.
You already know what it is. Girls Like STERL, aka Mr. No Cap. The girls don't love me, they just like me. That's where we at.
Absolutely. And we have our irregular co-host in the building, Miss KHAYLA J.
Gang in the building.
Shit.
Heavily requested. So we had to bring her back for all the people that's in the comments and everything. She's here. She's live.
Happy to be back.
You feel me?
To be back.
Happy to be back.
And she brought food.
I
did cook for the team today.
Applause for that. She brought the food today.
You know what I'm saying? And gentlemen, if you're wondering, her food, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Pretty solid. I had to test it. You know what I'm saying? I tested it for y'all, so I can give a solid review, man. It was pretty good, man. So she checks that box if y'all wanted to know. How you doing, STERL? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Got the workout in, the pre-pump pod. We got that PPP today. You feel me? The pre-pod pump. It's just working out before you come to the podcast.
Facts, man.
I called BRIL. He was in the gym. I was in the gym this morning. So we good. I'm pumped. I'm feeling good.
I went to the gym too.
And you got your PPP in.
Check it
out. What'd you work out today?
I did the Stairmaster.
The stem?
That's their favorite.
What else you do?
Wait.
What else you do?
She stopped right there.
The Stairmaster.
I did the Stairmaster because I'm going to Pilates tonight.
2-a-day.
We're talking
little 2-a-day situation. Okay.
They heard that Pilates conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that in there, man. Yeah. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. It's been a while. We've been doing interviews, talking to a lot of important people in the city, from the state, people that make a lot of noise. But it's time for us to kind of get a culture, our viewpoint on a lot of these topics. I know they're eager to hear our opinions, man. They haven't heard them in so long.
Yeah, it's good to do like a regular pod.
Absolutely.
Usually me and BRIL preparing interview questions and who we got today and this and that. But today is back to the old grind, man. We just talking shit. We just rapping. We just chatting it up, talking about what y'all want to talk about, what's going on. So
we ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get into it, man. So, man,
start us off.
The man, I was watching JBP, Joe Budden, man.
Shout out
and
Joe
they
Budden.
were talking about legendary snipers. They were talking about Joe Budden, of course. They're talking about Drake, French Montana. And man, this guy Damson Idris, man, he's building quite a legacy, man. He looking like Patrick Mahomes because he got a little rap
trying to
shit
get into that sniper category.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on his way, man. I see great things in that man's future.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's in case you haven't known, you know what I'm saying, he's recently been not quoted, but speculated that he was dating Lloyd Harvey. I guess there's truth to that. Allegedly.
We gotta say allegedly with
allegedly
that.
dating Lloyd Harvey. You know what I mean? Miss NDA. And he's also got Swarm, which is a TV series.
Yeah.
In which he has a few secular scenes in there where cheeks are clapping and stuff is moving around.
Yeah, he was making
saying it
some
very
noise.
nicely.
Yeah, very nice.
First 5 minutes.
I was in the first 5 minutes of the show.
First 5 minutes, he clapping cheeks.
He's hitting Chloe Bailey from the back, just so y'all.
Yeah.
On TV.
The TV. TV is painted nice. It's a power sex scene type shit.
Yeah. So
how y'all feel about this, man?
KHAYLA, let you go first.
So I will say, as someone who watched Swarm, the show itself is a lot of satire. I really like that it's, to me, more comedic than anything.
It's funny.
But that scene being in the first 5 minutes was really
I think
wild.
they knew what they was doing there. They knew
did.
that was literally what made a lot of people go watch.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It was all over Twitter, all over Instagram. Chloe Bailey, her name's been out in the streets for being sexual anyway. So
Agreed.
it's just like, I don't know. It was cool. I got the
from a business point of view. Somebody who majors in marketing, I say that is the best thing you could have ever done.
Sex sales.
You can put that in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, as soon as it started, he clapping cheeks. So it did what it had to do though. It brought everybody to watch it. I think I liked the series. It was freaky. It was a little bit weird. It was a little like, what the hell is going on? It's only 30-minute episodes. Telling Brim 30-minute episodes, like 7, I think.
Yeah, it's like 7.
I haven't seen it, so if you had to describe it to somebody that hadn't seen it, how would you describe it?
It's like a Beyonce fan who just don't know when to quit, and if you don't like Beyonce, she taking you off this earth. That's the best way I can describe it.
Exactly.
Literally. Like a
so who is the Beyonce fan?
The other character.
Right.
We should know her
so
name.
It's not Chloe.
She's a dope actress.
She is a very dope actress. I cannot think of her name. Is it Dominique?
That is, something like that. But nonetheless, though,
she don't work so hard, and y'all don't know her name.
Yeah, no, but no, I watched she basically is an obsessed fan that is in love with Nyjah as the character. Yeah, no, more than a stan though. Like if you tell her to her face you don't like her, she will literally kill you. Yeah. So basically, the whole series goes, and spoiler alert, whatever. Like, Chloe Bailey dies in like the first episode too. Yeah. But basically, she's on a mission to make sure that she meets Nyjah, who is Beyonce, and she's a part of the Swarm. The Swarm goes after anybody who comes after Nyjah, sort of similar how the Beehive goes after anybody. Or even
the Barbs.
Yeah,
the Barbs is a great comparison.
Yeah, it's just a fan-based story. It's based an obsessed fan that just goes like to any measure to make sure that you don't talk shit about Nyjah. And she just did some wild shit, bro. It was crazy, but it was a good it was a good series. I liked it. It was intriguing. I binged it in like
so what does Damson do in his series?
So basically he's
he's Chloe's boyfriend.
Right, he's Chloe's boyfriend. What is her character's name?
So, and she died on the first episode, so they really bought both of them.
Chloe,
they killed them off like Chris Brown and stuff.
Oh, and then she ended up killing him too. Like Dominique, her character ended up killing Damson Idris.
Yeah, both of them are in a couple. Oh, so they're in a relationship.
So both of them got killed first episode after the sex scene. They really treated him. They gave him the Chris Brown.
Yeah, she had some stuff to come back in. She was like in a couple flashbacks later on, but they're just in a relationship. And the other girl, that's the super fan, is their roommate.
That's beautiful. They're trying to save on that budget.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
if we don't pay for you to be here, you're gonna be in at least 5 of these episodes.
Right, but they just roommates, and he's the nigga that be over at the house.
But he tried to kind of push up on Dominique's character named Dre. He tried to push up on her too. And then when Chloe's character died, she went over there and pretty much took him out because she felt like, well, he had a lot to do with it. He broke up with her that night.
They was arguing.
Yeah, they was arguing, and
toxic relationship.
Very toxic. Yeah. So, but to circle back to Damson Idris in general.
Yeah. Bring it back.
I'm gonna bring it on home. So
y'all watch Swarm on your own. We're gonna give it all
watch
away.
it on your own.
Y'all gave him the whole thing. I'm not even gonna watch it no more.
No, you still need to watch it.
Still need to watch
it. As a woman who I like anything he acts in for the most part, but seeing him in Swarm was definitely a different side of him to me.
Which is Swarm and Snowfall and
doesn't he have something else he was in?
You the one who said you watch it.
I do. That's the only stuff I know of.
I mean, I'm messing with you. Yeah, I think it's everything that's
But no, realistically, as someone to see him acting something outside of Snowfall and like see him actually portray more of this like Americanized black man character, he did a really good job because like he's originally from the UK, so his accent he has he has to mask that.
The UK actors,
they are taking over.
So first it was Idris ushering them in, then it's
he did
John Ortega.
Yeah.
Who's he?
He does like a lot of the Marvel. He did The Woman King, and then he had that one movie. But he's a lot in that realm more so, like in like the serious type of movies. And then you have David. I can't never pronounce his last name. He was in Black Panther. He was in Get Out. The guy who did Get Out. He's from the UK.
Okay.
He's from the UK.
Lamar from BMF is from the UK.
He is from the UK too.
So they really
and they all hang with each other. I think that's so cool. Like when you see them out there all like in a group together.
We getting them American niggas.
But while we talking about y'all friend Damson, how'd y'all feel about him and Lori? I heard they broke up.
Y'all friend Damson.
That's y'all's friend.
I'm not even gonna lie, that's not really my guy. Like he's cool, but I'm not like, I love Damson. But the Lori and him shit is sort of predictable. I knew it was coming. It was a matter of time. It was a matter of time before she got him up out of there. One, he looked too happy to be there that he finally got Lori. With a shorty like Lori, you gotta act like she ain't shit. You gotta treat her like she is not anything, and you just gotta go about your life.
I don't like that. Why do y'all think that like beautiful women? Why do y'all think we want to be like?
Nah, not beautiful women, just her. I can tell her speed by the way she move and the guys. Did we talk about Lori with you on here?
No, we didn't. That was before me.
Okay.
So go give the spill on Lori. Cause I want you to dive deeper into that. That type of woman, you have to. That type of woman, you got to treat them like they ain't shit. Treat them like they're regular. Treat them like they're regular.
The girls who get everything, you got to treat them like they're regular. They can get everything, so you got to be something different in they line of fire. Like everything. I mean, she had the thing with Diddy, and then Diddy's son, and then Future. Like I feel like she's just seen it all, bro. So it's not too much impressing her. The only thing's gonna impress her if you don't impress her. You know what I'm saying? That's how if I was doing that, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be like making it nothing crazy.
Yeah, because if you treat her like a star, she gonna treat you like a fan.
Yeah, right. And that's a perfect. I feel like Damson got treated like a fan who was dating Lori Harvey. She was the star.
So y'all don't think he wooed her and like swooned her in?
So in terms of what you're saying, post your thesis about how you should treat that caliber woman if she is that caliber woman, I agree with that. But in terms of Damson, I don't really think that's it. I think if anything, this is kind of like a boost for Lori. Not saying that she needs publicity because she's not really saying stuff. But I think Damson, if anybody, is the one that's kind of that nigga at this point in time.
He got motion.
Nigga, anybody that's, how old is Damson? What? He actually older than all of us, I think.
I'm not even sure.
I think he's 30.
KHAYLA gonna Google it.
Yeah, let's Google it.
Let's Google that. But I would say in terms of Hollywood, I mean, you got Michael B. Jordan and niggas that just dropped.
He's 31.
31, yeah. But who's more popular in Hollywood that's black right now? I mean,
Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan.
It's two niggas. It's two niggas. And then who else? Damson. Damson is right there. He's in that trio.
Right. I can
He's trio. So if anything, that's her kind of picking at the top. It don't get no better than that.
But I just feel like, so as a woman, understanding that mentality, I get it, Sterling. Like, I understand why you say that, because you're right. Like, someone like me, I grew up my whole life, my daddy's always told me I'm pretty. Right. My daddy's always been able to do whatever I needed him to do. So when a man do it, I'm like, my daddy can do that. Like, so you do have to kind of impress me, but I just feel like impressing me means going beyond the usual.
Right,
take a step past that.
Right, just doing something different.
Right, but you said treat me like I'm regular. Like,
we saw the guy who rented out the whole aquarium for their first, was it anniversary or what was it, her birthday, something like that, or Valentine's Day. We saw that in Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he pulled out all the stops. Steve Harvey, her father, said, hey, this boy, he quoted saying this, he's saying, hey, I don't think this guy is too bright. He's a great young man, but if you start out renting out the aquarium, where do you go from here? You gotta exceed that.
Ceiling.
Yeah, and that that's what it is. Don't treat like, but like you gotta take it by tiers with the girl like that. And I think that's good though. Like the females that do have those dads that imprint that in them early. Facts. Makes them go through life not taking the first call that they get or cat call that they get, or you look bad and they gonna go for it.
Absolutely.
That dad father figure telling you those things, imprinting that in your head early, makes you understand that who you are, and then you gonna like not take nothing less than that.
It builds their self-esteem.
Yeah, it builds their self-esteem. But with her, it's just a little different though, because she's out. That's not her real dad. For one.
But she took his last name, which was smart.
That's her mama's doing. Her mama she know what time it is, man.
It's a little clip, and she was like, no rappers, no ball players, and she did everything her mom said not to do. So she just, I can just sort of tell. But
she's still young. Like, we got to understand, Lori's she's younger than us. Like,
you know what's crazy? That's what I told Story the other time, because when we were talking about in terms of rappers, her going out there, we know. I don't think she didn't do anything with Drake, but we know the whole Future and Trey Songz situation. I'm thinking she was like 21, 22 at the time.
Yeah, she was a baby.
That's crazy.
That's when you can first legally go into the club, and if you go into the club, and it's what year is this? 2017, 2018. Is Future not crazy in the club at that point in time? So you go and see the King of the Mountain, and you get invited in his section. You know what I'm saying? Who are you not to be? Right there in the situation. That's why I believe, I'm not gonna say that she dated Diddy, but I'm thinking that if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised, because you come into that house with Justin as a friend. He hasn't really made that. He's plotting on it, but he ain't made that move. He's spending daddy's money, and then you see daddy walk around the house, and you like, this is
daddy too.
I can have daddy too. So we ain't really done that. So I can really go to the top of the mountain. So
I don't blame her, but I just know how. I feel like a man should move dealing with Lori Harvey. You got to know it can end at any second. You got to know it's not your girl, it's just your turn.
And it's contractual.
Jesus. Yeah, and it's contractual. So it's like you got to play the cards right with that. And that's just not, as for me, I wouldn't feel like that's healthy. Like all the time just thinking about how to play the game with her. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's just her or if it's women of status in general, because with women of status, like, you have to be mindful that their lifestyle has to be presented a certain way. Like, when I would say for Lori to be so young, she has some very admirable dating practices, and one of them in particular is the NDAs. I feel like all women should make men sign NDAs when dating them on a long-term basis.
And why do you feel like that,
I feel like that because the experience of a woman should be sacred. Like, if you make a man sign an NDA and he has the best time of his life, but he can't go speak about it to his homeboys, the next person, the next man, she remains a mystery, and dating her remains a mystery. And to think about all the men that she's dated, none of them, other than Future throwing his subtle shots, have ever made a peep about dating her and what dating her was like. Everyone keeps it to themselves, but they all seem super happy when they're with her.
You know what I think? I think that's beautiful that you said it, and I think that it would help a couple of women out. I think it would come back to bite the large majority of women in the ass.
No,
imagine if niggas, every girl you talk to, you could make them sign an NDA. Yeah. And you know how they always say niggas ain't shit nowadays.
Right.
If every woman you talk to had to sign an NDA, you know what kind of juggling niggas would be doing out here, bro?
Yeah.
It get crazy.
It will get ridiculous,
but
bro.
I feel like talking and dating though are different. Like, if we're just talking, I'm not gonna make you sign one. But if we get into like,
official.
Yeah, when we official, especially if I'm a woman of status and I have a lot to lose from you running your mouth on the internet or you making a bad comment about me, if we have one bad argument.
Not to cut you off, but when does it go from talking to dating? And what is talking and dating?
Talking is when we're in the process of you met me, I met you. We've probably gone on between maybe 1 to 8 dates at the most.
1 to 8 dates.
I say 1
we
to
make it to 6 and we ain't dating.
1 to 8.
What's going
1 to 8 because all dates don't involve spending money. Some dates are just, you came over, you cooked her, and we went to a small, whatever. But I say 1 to 8, and then it's not official until you ask. Y'all have gotten out of asking, and I'm saying y'all because all men, and we speak generally on this podcast. All men, y'all told me that last time. Y'all told me that last time.
Shit, okay.
Yeah, so all men have gotten out of asking properly for a woman to be their lady. Like we used to do.
I don't feel like we're dating anymore. They're not technically dating. That's we go to, I'm from the country. We go together.
Yeah,
we're not it's talking, dating. We go together. It's
you my shorty, you my girl.
I feel like dating and going together kind of go hand in hand nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I
you
feel
think
like
so?
I get what she's saying though. I get what she's saying. The girls, they want those words of affirmation. They want you to actually say it and mean it and do something romantic.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's like a proposal almost, but not quite.
For me, dating, I'm a literal nigga. If we're dating, that means we made it past the second date. Like before if we're dating, before you go to Steak 48. We're dating.
Shout out Steak 48. Shout out
Steak 48.
Shout out Steak 48. We can get that sponsor eventually, man.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
We're gonna do a live podcast at Steak 48.
Our boy did it.
We gonna speak it.
Why you playing?
We gonna speak it.
Say no more. Dressed up and all.
But while we're talking about high profile people, so Jonathan Majors this past weekend was allegedly accused. And we're going to say allegedly and accused because until he is proven guilty or innocent, we don't know, of assaulting his longtime girlfriend, who happens to be white. But anyway.
Was she white?
She's white.
Oh, that changes the whole picture.
You didn't know
That's why he's not major news. He's kind of like, if you're up to it, if you're on Twitter.
But that's why his endorsements are getting pulled because.
But I thought she reenacted. I thought she.
She did recant her statement, and then it came out later that he was the one that actually called 911. It wasn't her. He called because he was scared for her well-being. And when the police got there, apparently she switched the story. Then apparently there's footage of what actually happened in the cab that she's alleging that footage is going to drop soon. I don't know, but they pulled that man's contract with the Army because he has a commercial circulating around with the military. They pulled that commercial. And then some director came out and said that he's always been aggressive on set. And I'm like, so now it's crazy that everybody's coming out saying all this.
Man,
right, they try to pull you down.
Stop dating them white girls.
Man, this is what I said.
My first tip.
This is what I said as soon as I seen the news, because I think my Twitter feed might be a little bit more negative than y'all's, or at least yours. I know, because there were people that were ready to cancel him. While we heard that director, there were women that you know how you just follow these women on Twitter and stuff. I don't know how I ended up following them, but they're like, oh well, I always watched his characters in his movies before, and he always seemed aggressive. And then I just
they be reaching.
I clicked on her shorty profile, right? I scrolled down, and guess what I see?
What?
Just completely worshiping Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, just worshiping, and I'm like, shorty, you have no shame.
No shame.
You have no shame at all, man.
And the sick thing is, bro, in today's society, you can literally, like, for fellas, that's why we got to be super careful what you do. a female can say those things about you, and until it's literally the opposite. It's not innocent until you proven guilty. You guilty until you proven innocent. So that's what right now. That's where the stage that he's in. So you got to be extra careful because, like, especially if you high profile like him, that shit hit the net, bro. As far like his trajectory is going like this, that shit could Chris Brown him immediately. You know what I'm saying? The same situation in a car, and they got into an altercation. Now he's gonna be talked about as the greatest actor that never was. You know what I'm saying? Just because he was on the trajectory to be him, and then that happens, that's people start looking at you different.
That's the plague.
True or not?
That's the plague of being a black man. I feel like for black women, the plague is you're like the least protected group.
Agreed.
But as a black man, the plague is you're guilty until proven innocent.
Accused. Yeah.
Well,
you're guilty until proven innocent. When somebody points their finger at you as a black man, especially if you have some type of notoriety, it's really over, bro. In terms of public speculation, hard to come back. Yeah. Now, depending on who the accuser is, that might determine how hard it impacts your bottom line. But socially, in terms of who you are in the public eye and pop culture, all it takes is for somebody to point their finger and say he did this, he did that.
They gonna run
it's over.
With it,
you know what I'm saying? I tweeted. I was like, it's either you're gonna do something stupid and crash the car, like we were talking about earlier. Some stars, we're not gonna say the names. Either you're gonna do something stupid and mess up your campaign, or they're gonna find somebody and they're gonna make up something.
Yeah, and they're gonna mess
up your campaign.
They'll run with it till they figure out that it's fault. But then even then, it's still like your reputation is a little bit tainted just off the fact that that's even was a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I will say as a woman, like, we defend other women to a fault. And sometimes it can bite us in the butt. But one thing I noticed on Twitter is when the news first dropped, everybody was like, oh no, we're canceling him, da da da. But the minute we found out his girlfriend was white, everybody was like, well, we told y'all to leave them white women alone. So, that's kind of like, it's interesting. Now. Right, but it's interesting how when it's not a black woman, we like, well, you should have been with one of us instead. But it also kind of goes back to that overarching thing of like white women accusing black men of wrongdoing and just trying to like ruin them and taint them. And because we don't know if this is one of those situations, me personally, I'm on his side. And I don't want to make it seem like for anybody who's watching, I'm not saying that women, that go through this shouldn't be believed. But what I am saying is based on the facts of the situation, why would he call the police if he put his hands on her? That's the first thing. Second thing, if there is footage that's going to be dropping that's apparently going to clear his name, for right now, he two for three. Like right now.
So I'm gonna ask you this, and this is not necessarily about you, but we speak generally on this podcast. So if you were to speak for all women, how do you feel like the situation would be different if she was a black woman?
Oh man, if she was a black woman, first of all, yeah, no cap. Like he's gone. His whole page would have been deactivated that first day. We would have reported everything on there. Jesus. And got him up out of there.
Worse than the swarm.
You know what's fucked up?
What?
His checks would have still been there. So like because she's white, his checks are gone, but socially people are still accepting.
Absolutely.
But if she was black, the big companies wouldn't have canceled. But socially, he would have been completely degraded.
I'm eager to see how his PR team takes this and rebrands him or reintroduces him to the public, because with all of the things he has going on right now with Creed, and then he had the Ant-Man, right?
That movie. He about to do Dennis Rodman movie.
Right, he was about to do Dennis Rodman's movie. So he has a lot of projects that's coming up. So I'm eager to see how his team takes this. I wonder if they're going to go to T.I. route or if they're going to go to Chris Brown route.
What are those routes?
Right, what's the T.I. route?
Y'all remember when T.I. had like 3 apology tours where every time the first song was Dead and Gone, then the second song was Get Back Up with him and Chris Brown. Yeah. Like T.I. kept doing the same thing and kept apologizing over and over.
Life, right. It worked. That shit worked.
It worked for a short amount of time until people.
That's right. Yeah.
It worked for a short amount of time until people realize you're just apologizing just to go do it again. So I wonder if it's one of those situations where maybe, God forbid, this man does assault this woman on a regular basis, and they're just gonna have to cover it for now, or if he's gonna take the Chris Brown route, whereas for a long time Chris Brown didn't even really come out into the public eye.
Right. He
was shunned, he went missing. His reemerge didn't happen until he did the Michael Jackson tribute at the BET Awards the following year, because they wouldn't even let him do it that year when he passed.
Yeah.
So I wonder what route his team is going to take just to kind of protect the brand, because you got to protect the brand.
You know what the only thing is? This is what I would say. If I was head PR manager, the PR agent, if I was the head of marketing, listen, man, I'm not in the business. I don't really like fake couple goal relationships, but you gotta get with a black woman fast. You gotta cuff it up and make it public. You gotta find it like.
Would you tell them to say something or just say nothing? You know, we talking about that earlier.
You gotta leak the TMZ pictures and like, allegedly such and such.
I ain't talking about the girl. I'm talking about like, would you tell Jonathan Majors to say?
Nah, you need to shut the hell up.
Don't say nothing about it ever.
The only thing that needs to happen is there needs to be alleged pictures of you holding some joint hand, going into a grocery store with the Kanye fit on. I don't want to be seen, but I really want you to know who I am. Exactly.
You need to go to Whole Foods. You got all the stores. Everything got to be right. You got to be going to vegan places.
You need to go to Target.
And it's gotta be somebody like a Jasmine Sullivan. You know what I'm saying? Like
a real black woman.
A real black woman.
And nothing wrong with that.
That'll flip the whole public eye. You'll be back in 6 months. You'll be back.
So basically, what you're acknowledging is that in lieu to save his whole thing, sometimes a black woman can come in and just save your whole.
Sometimes
black women save the day.
Black women are pop culture. The downfall and the rise of every star is because of black women in pop culture. If you look at it, if you got canceled, it was because of black women. If you got driven up in 2 weeks, you're famous. It's because of black women.
Okay. So they carry both sides of the sword.
They carry both sides of the sword. So if you don't got black women in your corner, it's raps.
It's like if you got them, it might be harmful, but if you don't got them, it's even worse.
If you got them, if you got enough of them that support you, then it doesn't really matter who is the antagonist of the situation. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just got to be careful out here, man. With that whole situation, when it comes to assault women and Women's History Month, all that shit, you just got to be careful, bro, because shit could get ugly fast. And I personally, I liked him better in Creed than I like Michael B. Jordan.
Agreed. He played a great villain.
He went, like, I felt his character, I felt like he was really acting. I felt like Michael B. Jordan was just trying to be cool. And they be saying Michael B. Jordan don't be having no lines in his movies. And I looked at it and I really wasn't impressed by his acting. I like him as a person and like he's cool, but Jonathan Majors played, like, you can tell he went to acting school.
Absolutely.
You can tell he's been working on his craft.
He actually went to North Carolina School of the Arts.
Word.
Wow. You know what's crazy?
He gives me that, bro. He not to cut you off. He's a hell of an actor. I like what he's doing, and I hope this situation does not Chris Brown him in any facet.
Agreed.
So
I think he's as far as Michael B. Jordan, I think I'm not saying he's as good as him. But I'm saying I think he has that Denzel lane. Like, he's not a Will Smith or a Jamie Foxx that can do anything. I think he's more of a Denzel. Like, if you look at Denzel, even though he's an amazing actor, he's played every character that he's had has the same personality type. They're just different ages.
Disagree.
Yeah,
because
almost every.
Almost.
I say 70% of his movies.
Because have you seen him in Fences?
Fences.
See, that's
what year did it come out?
I'm talking about so many movies that people don't know.
If you go from the big ones, he has the same Training Day. Training Day, that same.
Flight is totally different than Training Day.
Flight is totally different than Training Day.
His character, the things his character does in terms of the wittiness. You know what I mean? The cool.
I get what you're saying. Just the way they build the character, the character development.
Not the same character literally, but I'm saying the same personality. They have the same personality in terms of their snaps, their witty jokes. I
disagree because if I think about John Q, I think about Flight.
Yeah,
I think about Fences.
Think about Pelham 123. Think about Training Day. It's in the same.
I think it's the way you view Denzel.
Okay,
maybe I think that's because it's like with certain actors and actresses. Once you start to see how they are outside of their movies, you start to characterize that towards their characters, and you kind of pick up on little things. But I feel like Denzel does a great job of separating himself.
Right. He can play anybody.
He can play anything.
Like that's the fact of being a cop versus being a pilot versus being a dad that's like about to lose his son. Those are three totally different people, bro.
No, they're two different, but the personality type. Like, name 3 characteristics of each personality type of every character that he played, and I promise at least one of those.
I think you're just saying him in every movie. Like they never cast him to be a loser.
That's what I'm telling you about Michael B. Jordan. Every movie, he's him.
Well, these are his movies.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like Michael B. Jordan still doesn't have enough movies yet for us to make that judgment. Because if you ask me, Black Panther was a totally different lane than Creed, and if you ask me, Fruitvale Station goes a whole other direction. So I don't think he has enough movies yet.
The reason why everybody think he him is because of the way he looked, bro. He handsome dude. So
that wasn't what threw Denzel up there before 35.
He can act his ass off. Yeah. He had way more lines than Michael B. Jordan. Say that loud.
Before 1995,
Denzel had way more lines than him in 96, 97, 98, 99.
You want to go check that?
I think we can for sure.
Before 90, what year did Training Day come out? That's what I'm saying. 90 something. He had way more lines than Creed.
What I'm saying, pre. I'm pretty sure not Training Day came out a little bit after 95. I'm talking about pre 95.
He had more lines than Michael B. Jordan.
That I'm not denying.
We'll fact check that off camera.
We'll fact check that.
But this I'll say. But he not no. You know what I'm saying? I think he was not. Maybe not. I was gonna say he was a more socially accepted dude off his looks than Denzel, but maybe not because all our mamas think Denzel is him. So maybe
he's still
not.
Fine. He's 60 something. He's still
so
fine.
Maybe I won't even throw that out there. So maybe they were in the same handsome category.
But he didn't get that corny. He didn't get that corny. That corny role.
Exactly. You never even hear the word corny when it comes to Denzel.
Absolutely not.
You hear corny a lot when it comes to Michael B. So that's probably the division.
I want to double back to something we talked about a couple seconds ago. We were talking about women and how black women can propel you forward or pull you back. Mm-hmm. Your boy Little Baby was with Jayda at the game the other day.
Why you say his name like that, Little Baby?
Little Baby, because I just want to talk about how
you can't hold a real nigga down.
You can't. But maybe,
shout out, baby, man.
let's talk. Their relationship to me is a perfect representation of two bosses, two people who hustle in their own way, and Jayda.
What's poppin', y'all? It's King BRIL, and I'm sorry to interrupt this video, but I gotta tell y'all about the new Rich Rags from Rich Royals Luxury. Rich Royals is raising the standards of all do-rags with a whole new level of quality and a whole new level of attention to detail. The Rich Royals do-rags have the stitching naturally on the outside of the do-rag, so you don't have to wear your do-rags inside out. Rich rags also come with wider straps, so it's a lot easier to flatten them, and it's way easier to avoid those do-rag lines. It's made with a high-quality fabric, satin woven material to protect your hair, make sure it's growing, and make sure it stays shiny. Built to help keep the compression, keep your hair healthy, and make sure it keeps that luster, that shine onto your hair, whether you got waves or braids. The material is super breathy and super stretchy. And last but not least, anybody that wears a do-rag knows that there's nothing more annoying than having a do-rag that's not actually made to fit somebody's head. And you can tell it's not made to fit somebody's head because there's always this extra bit of material, you know what I mean? This little titty that sits at the top of the do-rag. There is no titty that sits at the top of the do-rag, you feel me? Not only are they functional, but they're also fashionable. You got the Rich Royals do-rags in full print black. We also got the single print in black. And if you're feeling spicy, man, we got that all white. Man, this one is geared especially for the summertime, man. Do not sleep, man. Make sure y'all head over to richroyals.com and cop yours today. Man, it was interesting break. That was a very interesting break for those of you watching, man. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to this, make sure you download this episode, man, so you can be hip to all our future episodes and whatnot. For sure. We're here with my dog. Oh, this was in your shot? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was in my
shot. One day we're gonna film the behind the scenes. The best combos always be when we shut the camera off. Always. So we got into a little heated debate about Jonathan versus Michael B.
Man, listen,
we're gonna say that.
We're not gonna bring that back here.
What your boy say? Not too much on Michael B.
Not too much. Not too much. No, not too much on Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Man, listen. What's that? That's it. It was doing the whole movie. It was good though.
That was him.
But no, we were segueing into talking about how black women can make or break you, and we were talking about Lil Baby and Jayda and how they complement each other. But let's not negate the fact that these two have had a very tumultuous relationship. But just yesterday they were spotted together. That's a great word.
Hold on, say that again.
Tumultuous.
What does that mean? Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
I don't
spell it. Don't do me.
How do you?
Tumultuous.
Oh shit, spell it.
TRUMUTOUS. Tumultuous.
We'll spell it.
I feel like you missing a couple letters. That's a long ass.
Say
gonna spell check and let us know if you was right or not.
Okay,
I know what it means though, and I know how to use it in a sentence.
Hey, the utility
application,
man.
Right, that's our context clues.
Why do you say that about Lil Baby and Jayda?
I just feel like because anytime Lil Baby does something wrong, it's always like highlighted in the public eye. And Jayda being the black woman, a lot of times we're forced into a space where we have to, bear that weight. And respectfully, I don't blame her for not leaving him, because let's be honest, she's not going to find a man of his caliber outside of, rap.
A one of one.
He is a one of one, and they have a child together.
That's the definition of him. And we said that earlier off pod. I said he could find another her, but I don't think she could find another him. And when I say that, I'm saying like he's got so much respect in the streets, in sports, in rap, that a lot of dudes is not gonna come after that and try to bag Jayda out of respect for Lil Baby, just off respect. And that could be like, even if you're talking about regular dudes and a regular, like if people seeing you with this girl, they know that's yours. Respectfully, like myself, I wouldn't go after somebody that I know, you know, has been with my homeboy or somebody I fuck with or somebody I respect.
From a business standpoint, it does not make sense. It does not make sense if you're in the entertainment industry to go after baby girl, like any endorsements or getting a feature on it. It messes up the whole business. Yeah, it messes up the whole business. It's not smart.
And he got his hands in too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go against Lil Baby. That's not a good. That's not a good look for you. You know what I'm saying?
But I disagree. In lieu of Women's History Month, I disagree that he can just snap his fingers and find another Jayda. Not saying it's impossible. Not saying it's not women of her caliber out here, but she is one of them ones where like
she is
okay, obviously physically beautiful, but a hustler, made bread. You know, regardless of the family situation, she made bread before him. Understands how to do a business, understand P&L sheets, taxes, something other than spending your money. And can you send me some money? You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than y'all lead on.
But it's so unfair. Like it's so unfair as a woman that because you've dated this one person, you've had a child with them, and because they're cool with everybody, now you stuck. It's almost like she has to date an actor or an NFL player just to break through that.
Life ain't fair.
Life is not fair. But they're so
choose
young.
Who you get with. You choose who you get with, and those repercussions come after that. Like you choose knowing who this person is, knowing who he knows, knowing his connections, and you sort of gotta like gauge it off of that. But like that's not things y'all think about at the beginning, and y'all not thinking about if we break up, would I be able to still date? I think that's the
they got together first of all before he even hit that.
They did. They were dating before Baby.
You know who's a perfect example of that? Who people is not gonna come behind out of respect?
Who?
Lauren London.
Yeah.
People is not gonna come after and try to date her respectfully because of Nipsey. You know what I'm saying?
But he did. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different.
It is a little different, but I get what Sterling is saying.
I'm just speaking like
niggas not gonna speak on it.
So what is y'all's threshold? Respect. So like, okay, if there's a shorty out here and she bad, and let's say her man, you might have known him in passing, you ain't never really know him like that. Let's say hypothetically, something happened to him. You know, he ain't here no more, and him and shorty ain't together. You know, she out here, whatever. She bad, you single. What you gonna do?
If something happened to him, once again, that makes it a different story. If he's alive, I feel like it's a business decision. Is she worth that business? How much money can you make with Baby as opposed to how happy would she make you?
Business
he is always there financially.
Everything is built on business.
I'm on that code.
Everything is built on top of the structure, the foundation of business.
We said this earlier. You're not looking at that girl for no money, bro.
No. I'm not talking about Jayda. I'm talking about in terms of like
any
Baby.
girl out here.
Yeah, let's just say regular shorty.
Keep it regular.
I'm talking about in terms of like Baby.
Not doing it.
It does, but why not? Exactly, because it would affect
the respect call. I don't care how much money she make. Not doing it.
It's not about his money. I'm saying in terms of how much the collaborations with him, the circles with him, being in the same room with him and it not being awkward. That's a business decision. It's not a financial decision. It's a business decision.
Okay, so let's rewind. What if he is still alive and they're just not together, and he got like, you know, street cred, hood fame. You know, everybody know him in the streets. You know him because you done dapped him up a couple times.
Right.
And shorty single. She been single for a while. She make a move with you. What you gonna do?
What you doing, Stir?
Not doing it.
Stir said he ain't doing it. I believe him all the way around.
That ain't my vibe, bro. Like I used to be on that. Like I used to enjoy taking other niggas' bitches. My little jerk used to be called
your girl.
My jerker used to be called
you take your
bitch.
Oh God, you
when I was in
terrible,
middle school.
You a terrible
I used to enjoy that thrill of having somebody else's shit, but like nowadays, bro. Like we a little bit more grown now. I'm not doing that. Like it's not worth it. I can.
What if she's unhappy? What if she's like, oh, Sterl,
nope,
you know,
don't call me. First off, hey, take it. So we gonna throw that out. Not doing it, but
take it. Hey,
yeah, we taking it. But nah, I ain't doing it, bro. Like even if I was, I don't like the awkwardness. Especially like you said, because it be niggas being dapped up. Even like think about like some bruh shit. Like
on some past shit. My whole rule before the wedding rule that we talked about.
Yes.
It was if I dap you up.
Word.
On the daily, if I dap you up on a weekly basis, I can't do it. Now outside of that, it's free, especially college. It's free game.
I just hate that as women we get wrapped into that because you was never like, say for instance, it's a guy like me and somebody dating, and he might dap you up every Friday because y'all got a class together, and now I'm single and I want to holler at you, and you like, damn, nah, I dap bro up every Friday. We got chemistry together.
You know, let me tell you something. That's a good segue, and I hate that we jumping off topic.
No,
this is a little bit about how men consider friends and women consider friends.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Men making friends. If I see you at the bus stop every day,
smallest thing.
That's my boy. That's my
guy. I don't know girls, name, but that's what
girls though. Y'all don't be friends with nobody. No. Y'all fall out. I don't know a lot of friend groups that was friends. I know like one that was friend groups in high school that's still friends to this day. Right,
me and my homegirls.
I know why though. I know why.
And let's get into that because I meant to bring that up, but it's crazy because like me and my niggas I done kicked it with since 6th grade are still my niggas today, and I on everything everybody know that I kick it with the same niggas, and then we got the frat and shit like I kick it with the same niggas I kicked it in.
It's groups,
right? But with girls, even if y'all in a sorority, even if y'all are best friends, y'all will break up, not be friends, go on a girls trip, fall out, and it's rap.
Can I give
y'all don't know how to be friends?
I want you to tell us why from an inside scoop. This is what I speculate.
This is the question. Why can't girls be friends for longer than however long? Why can't be friends?
This is what I believe. Why can't girls be friends?
This your theory.
This is why girl friendships don't last. Passive aggressiveness, right?
Agreed.
So this is what happens. This is what happens. There's an air. There's so much of being a woman that is dealing with being intuitive and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So girls can come around somebody that they've been cordial with on several occasions.
Yep.
And she can say, she can leave the situation to be like, I don't like her energy. I don't like her attitude.
I don't like how she looks.
And listen, now the other girl is completely, she could have had a terrible day and just didn't want to talk about it.
Agreed.
And didn't want to talk to you.
And girls make it.
Stay your ass at home.
The girl is taking it, she's making it about herself. Like she could have just had a shitty day. That's why she kind of
personalize a lot of things.
Exactly.
Y'all don't know how to like separate.
Now when they go back and forth, now it's like you talking to your friends. It's like, nah, she thinks she da 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 da. You know what?
It took a whole length.
Exactly. You know what my pet peeve is? When a girl say, I don't like her. She thinks she all that. Then I immediately ask. Well, why you think that? And you know what happens? She says, I don't know.
It's never
exactly. It's passive aggressive.
And that's the thing. Men operate off logic. Women operate off emotion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Logically, if I see this, I know I'm gonna let you get to it. But logic, if I see this dude every week, this is my guy. I kick it with him. That's my friend now. That's my guy. Emotionally, there's no emotion that comes into like how we feel about our friends. Like logically, if I kick it with you, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a lot of emotion, it's a lot of intuition, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of this and that. And girls use that as their predicator for if I'm be your friend or not. Versus when dudes, we don't even look at that stuff. Like if you kick it with me, we talk when we talk. You know what I'm saying? That you my homie.
That's the big issue because when they have these passive aggressive situations,
y'all ain't gonna let me say.
My bad. When y'all have these passive aggressive situations, y'all don't actually
y'all could just talk
to her, but it's like I ain't calling her like for what? Now it's a whole
when y'all do
speculative
talk,
beef.
When y'all do talk, y'all be on some whole other like
shady as shit.
Shady as fuck. Like it's really shady to
I'm gonna stop y'all there. I'm gonna stop y'all there because y'all don't get y'all right. Too many personal experiences getting brought up. So as a woman, when I moved to Charlotte when I was 12, I made friends with Jasmine Mills. Jasmine, best friend, I love you. Me and Jasmine have literally been friends since we were 12. We are 27. She just turned 28, like well over a decade, almost 2. I just sent her a birthday gift. She just got it this morning. I posted it on my story. Like, me and Jasmine have been locked in. I've been locked in with Keisha since I was 12. Been locked in with Arleah since I was 12. And so, no, her name Key, not Kiki.
Hey, but everybody got a homegirl named Kiki.
So I say all that to say, like, our friendship at the time was based on one, proximity because we went to middle school together, and then some of us, with high school and communication, and 2, we were just super like-minded. But I will agree that passive aggressiveness along the way could have made a huge difference in how we navigated our friendship. But one thing that kept it solid was the fact that, and this might just be me, I'm gonna speak for myself, and Niall will tell you, I'm not a passive aggressive type of person. Like if it's a weird energy in the room, or if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it, because I feel like the worst that could happen is you disagree with what I'm saying, or I'm wrong, and I'll take accountability for that. But as a friend, everybody needs a friend that's gonna check them when they messing up, or check them when they're slipping off. We might not like it, but it's needed. Everybody needs that friend, because passive aggressiveness, like BRIL said, is the root of everything. Because you walking away from a situation thinking, oh, why she acting funny towards me today? When in reality, it's not even just you. It's everybody in the room. Everybody else just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So with that being said, passive aggressiveness is the number one thing. And the second thing is too, female friendships get built in the wrong spaces. Like with y'all, like you said,
trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding.
It's either trauma bonding, it's brunch, it's the same guy or whatever. And it's funny because
That is true.
We laughing, but me and Nayo's friendship started because of off a dude.
Trauma
because
bonding,
we found
man.
out we both.
Trauma
listen.
bonding.
Me and really no bond on no
Listen. Me and Nayo were living on the same level in freshman dorm or whatever. We lived on the 3rd floor, and we both had white roommates, which was crazy. How go to a HBCU, you get a white roommate. Crazy. And one day we were sitting out in the lobby because every floor of the building had a lobby, and we were talking in the lobby, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been talking." She was like, "Oh shoot, I said a name." Let me read it.
We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out. Hey, just damn. Hey, sorry, man. Sorry, dog.
I'm gonna just start over. So me and Nayo were sitting.
Don't start.
But anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I've been talking to so and so, and she's like, really? Same. Da-da-da-da. We started talking about describing characteristics, and she's like, yeah, I'll be talking to him too. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, we gonna call him. So we FaceTimed him.
Y'all sick. Hold on, let's pause. Y'all little stupid.
We got to a whole new combo.
We FaceTimed him in the middle of the day. It was like a Wednesday at like 2:00.
Man, that nigga heart dropping, bro.
Fried chicken Wednesday at like 2:30.
Right? This is college.
Yeah, this is just college. We hadn't even known each other that long. We just lived across the hall from each other.
Y'all know what time it is at this point. What?
Anyway,
y'all are talking,
so
man.
what? But look, what got us was when we FaceTimed him. Oh, that boy was sweating.
I bet.
You would have thought we had just called him all the way out. All we did was just show our faces in the camera together.
As a man,
we didn't say anything.
You got everything down pat. You got this and that. And then they both. You like, oh my shit.
Yeah. And from there, we just became friends because we found it so funny. And then when she told me her trajectory, she had actually dated him when they were in high school. Like they actually were in a whole relationship, and I didn't even know I was intruding on a certain kind of space. And so we just became friends after the fact. But our friendship sustained because we were actually good people to one another. And it's like you can bond over that trauma or that brunch or that one bad experience, but are you a good person on the inside?
I want to take a different path. We can get back on path.
Okay.
He didn't do nothing wrong. He was talking to y'all, and y'all just hit him, and that y'all became separate. Well, that's the
thing. We never confronted him. We didn't say he did anything wrong.
But still, y'all FaceTime together because you knew what that would do.
You knew what that.
Yeah, we knew it would shake the table, but we didn't say he did anything wrong.
Right. But y'all basically made what he was doing wrong because y'all bonded over this same dude, and now y'all became friends. So now he can't talk.
Technically, we didn't bond over him. We bonded over the experience.
Trauma.
The experience of dealing with him.
It wasn't trauma. It wasn't traumatic. Yeah, that's what I said. We can't call it trauma because it wasn't traumatic. We didn't even find out until we were sitting out there.
And you say it's not fair when guys, you can't. Your scope of men are limited because they're already friends.
Fair on both sides,
y'all became friends because,
and that's not fair to him. Now he can't.
But you know what's funny? I think after the fact,
this is karma.
I think after it's funny because I think after the fact, I removed myself from the situation, and she made her own decision. Like we agreed to disagree. That okay, look, we both know this is going on. We'll handle this the way we see fit. And I removed myself from the situation.
Friend,
I can't quite remember what happened.
They don't know your name. They don't know who you are, right?
They
don't know who you are.
Bro.
How long did that last?
Oh, you talking about
me and a guy?
Yeah.
Since my senior year of high school, his freshman year.
No, I'm talking about after that situation. How long did you and him?
Not much longer.
See, that's sick right there. That's sick. He lost both. He lost both of them because of y'all.
He lost and y'all won.
This is karma. Probably about 3-4 months.
This is karma. That's all that is. That's karma.
Yeah, and that was just 3-4 months of you talking shit like what KHAYLA did though.
You feel me? But no. To get back to the subject,
I was just gonna say like also the traumatic bond, blah blah blah. Communication is why men last longer than women. And I would say this right, and this is an example I like to say all the time. Like if niggas, we all together and we got somebody like, bruh, somebody's overweight, right? For example, like, bro, you look fat, bro. You need to hit the gym. I think
you're that blunt about it.
This is you better be lucky. You better hope it's that calm. Niggas might fry you for 20 minutes.
Right, and they'll go like, you look fat, bro. You need to hit the gym, blah, blah. Like girls, when y'all go out and y'all put on a black dress, the girl gonna say, I think you should change this dress. I think you should wear this one. I think y'all talk, so y'all are real indirect and guys are just real direct.
But it's
and the only time y'all get direct is when it gets offensive and y'all talking to somebody and y'all trying to hurt their feelings. Guys, by me telling you fat, I'm not telling you.
But roasting him for 20 minutes, is it going too far?
That's what I'm saying. That's how guys communicate. It's totally different than how females communicate.
Because this is
I'm
what
telling you.
Sad. No.
It's
but
not a sad thing though. When guys talk, it's just like straight up. Like, bro,
it's like poking fun at the joke. It's like you gotta laugh to keep from crying.
No. It's not even that. This is what happens. Because it causes a situation when you get roasted for the same thing since you were 15 years old. It's either you fix it. Let's say if it's your weight, you either fix it and it causes you to become this.
Then you
Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors looking guy, or you become the most confident, swaggy, fat guy around. You know what I'm saying?
Now, so females is not the same.
With females, it was shot. I don't seen girls now. I don't want to, I don't seen women post pictures with an outfit it didn't fit the best,
and the girl didn't look the best. Like it is.
Girls in the comments be like, just
girl, you look.
I done seen women with lipstick all on their teeth, and their friends like, you go, girl, and I'm like, you don't care about that girl for real. Talking about you rather boost her ego.
Okay, so those are examples of fake friends, because I'm gonna tell you one thing about me and my friends. First of all, when we go out, if your outfit not on point, you don't go with us. Me and Niall have been in situations where, if somebody out with us, we'll try to get their outfit right before we step out, or we be like, do this instead, or wear that instead. Like,
how was her response? Did she receive that well?
It's not always it's not even a whether or not she received it well, more so than it's like, how can I make you understand where we're going and what you're wearing don't match? And that's the conversation. But even past that, when we talking about pictures, like you said, if the outfit don't hit, even if we taking a picture, let's say you have a friend that might be a little bit more heavier and she wore something that you don't think is flattering. Right. If you got the confidence to wear it and you happy in it, okay, girl, I'll snap all the pictures you want, but I'm gonna tell you your angles. I'm gonna tell you what look good, what don't look good. Like, I don't understand this concept of fake female friends, because I've never been a fake female friend. And I don't have any of those. So when men talk about like, oh, you got lipstick on your teeth, your homegirl ain't tell you, that's so fucked up.
It's just a communication.
I don't even think that's them trying to be fake. I think it's them.
It's fake.
No,
it's
fake. Them wanting to. It's a feelings thing. Like I rather.
Emotion.
But that's
I rather
fake.
her
Lipstick
embarrass
on your
herself
teeth
than me hurt her feelings.
But lipstick on your teeth versus you being 15 pounds overweight are two different things. Lipstick on your teeth you can fix like this.
But that's a little. That's might just be an example.
But but Bril's right. That happens a lot, because I worked in the club. I see what happens and how women communicate with each other, especially when they're drunk. That's the only time y'all get real. And then when you wake up next morning, like, because my straight had me watching goddamn, what is it, Real Housewives? And she was talking about what's the one with the light green eyes? The older Giselle.
One. Yeah, she was like, she messy. She's
Bryant.
I guess no
Giselle Bryant.
I don't know her last name.
Yeah, she was talking about her. She was like, she's the messy one out the group. But really, I mean, I don't know. She is messy, but she be talking straight shit, and she be saying some of the stuff she says is facetious. Yeah, okay. But to females, they gonna take that a whole different way. They gonna think they coming for you. So I get it. Like, as females, y'all just talk to each other differently than men talk to each other.
Yeah, y'all are more blunt and direct.
We blunt, but it's not from a mean standpoint. You still my nigga.
Nah, that shit could be from me. I done seen
niggas. You got some niggas that hate. But I'm talking about like out of my homeboys, like if when I'm, you know what I'm saying, somebody looking right.
I got LBs, man. This is how niggas give it up. If you, let's say it's homecoming, we about to go to this party, and your fit is not there, a nigga will fry you from the time you hit the door to the time it's ready to go out for an hour straight. But on the flip side, he'll dress you head to toe out his closet. Yeah. He'll dress you, but he'll flame you up and let you know that, bro, you look bad. Look at you in this picture. Look at the rest of us.
right.
So it's just a communication thing.
I feel like with women too, though, we do offer that same level, but it comes with, it's a difference between friends and best friends. Like me and Naya, we live together, and we can make those kind of moves. I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling that. Go get something out the closet.
And y'all will tell y'all's friends that ain't really y'all friend, not y'all, but like some girls will tell a girl that's really not their friend something blunt. Then it comes off as you trying. Right now, if you tell your real friend that you doesn't look good,
they know you,
I trust
they know you.
Right, that's where it comes.
Whereas with men, if like, bro, you're not gonna walk up to some random man at the gas station and be like, yeah, bro, them shoes ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you pick and choose your battles, because in some situations it's not worth it. But with women, when we try to jump and tell another woman, say for instance, I'm in the club, I'm in the bathroom, shorty in the bathroom, she trying to get her shoes together, something ain't working. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it this way. If you demonstrate help with a kind heart, they'll receive it. But there's some women, they be like, don't touch me, don't do this. Like, we're so critical
and it's the reception, taking constructive criticism. Like, that's the thing. Being able to take it, because some, like you said, some dudes would just go in the closet and just change, be like, shit, let me just go ahead, and they're not saying that. Then you're not gonna say it the rest of the night. But that takes a big person, man or female, to be able to take constructive criticism. Okay. The people that can't take it is gonna fight back. That's when it leads to an argument. That's when it leads to a broken friendship. You know
so let's segue while we're talking about criticisms and being able to take it. So let's talk about
Pause that.
Okay, that's good. That was a good one.
Funny as hell.
So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention recently about, paying attention to news to Blac Chyna's transformation. And let's think back to when Blac Chyna and Amber Rose were like the original Instagram models, influencers. They were twerking on the internet, all this stuff. And the lip fillers, the butt injections, all of these different things. And for years, people criticized Blac Chyna for a lot of the work that she had done, and now she's getting it removed. Do you think it was finally the criticism got to her, or do you think that she's just trying to go for something different?
I think it's the age and just like experience. Like, how old is Blac Chyna?
I know she's in her 30s.
I just think, like, I think that about a lot of these girls now that do that stuff. I'm like, in 10 years, I'll be talking about 10 years.
She's 34.
Right. A lot of these girls is doing that is 24. So in 10 years, it's probably not going to be as valuable to have a fake ass and lip fillers and all that shit. So I think she's just sort of now come to her, like, when you get out of that space and you sort of look back, like, I don't need all this shit. I don't need to have these tattoos. I don't need to do that. I really commend it. You already know what it is, man. It's Girls Like STERL, aka Mr. No Cap. And check me. We just dropped the new sweatsuits. The sweatsuits are out and ready to be ordered. Zipper pockets on the sides, elastic bands at the bottom. The best of the best quality hoodies, sweatsuits, sweatpants, everything you need. We got them. Make sure you tap in with me. www.nocapthelabel.bigcartel.com or follow me at @NoCapTheLabel or follow my personal Instagram at _Girls Like STERL. Tap in, get your sweatsuits. This is a sponsored ad from No Cap the Label. Get it!
I think now we got a vibe. We can sit back now. I changed the angle.
Yeah, I've been sat back.
Facts, man. We back.
Time in.
Welcome back to the episode of the podcast, man. Where do we leave off on? Blac Chyna.
Talking about Blac Chyna.
Discussion.
Blac Chyna, man. So tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, take the reins on this one.
So I feel like her transformation is a long time coming for sure, and I think she's just trying to adjust to the new age of social media and introducing herself as a new social figure. Because if we think about Blac Chyna, we think about Blac Chyna with the dimples, Tiger baby mama, hanging out with Amber Rose. Like, we think about her in a different way. Whereas
I think about Rob Kardashian.
You know what? And that was a moment in time too. Like, Blac Chyna has lived a many a lives.
That's why I think she's ready for the transformation, because I feel like she's done everything she needs to do. And at this point, living that life is not going to benefit her as a 34-year-old woman. Being in the clubs, having all that surgery, all that stuff. It's not going to do any benefit. Back then, that got you in the clubs. That got you in them spaces with those rappers, ball play. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do. She had the world in her hand. But as a 34-year-old woman, there are now 21-year-old girls, 22-year-old girls, 23, 24, and the list goes on. Like, nobody, as men, they not checking for a 34-year-old. Even if you
Harvey
are
and Ruby Rose.
Even if you are 34, we taking Ruby Rose. We taking them over Blac Chyna.
So y'all basically saying Blac Chyna was washed and she has to readjust.
Not was what she. I mean, now.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, but you know.
I mean, like, time, unfortunately, is not in y'all's favor.
Was there ever a moment where, like, Blac Chyna was like on y'all list, like, oh yeah,
we were younger then,
right? That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So not for us.
Shorty wasn't on my list.
Yeah, not on my list, but like nowadays, the people who are in those spaces to dictate where that time is and what's going on, nobody is saying I want Blac Chyna. They saying they want Ruby Rose, they want Jayda. They saying the names they want. They just she's timed out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I be telling the females about their time clock. You got to be careful, women. I'm not saying this as a misogynistic point, but as y'all get older, there are younger girls doing the same things y'all did when y'all are young, and those guys that y'all were looking for that are older are still old and still having that money.
But they want them young girls.
But they want the young girls. And you worked in the strip club, so you know how it works.
Yeah, I do.
I think
that's the only thing I would say.
I like to argue that point. I like to think that Blac Chyna is not a representation of the rest of black women. I think that it's a lot of cougars coming into play a lot now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women reaching down, because you take somebody like Bernice Burgos. You know what I'm saying? She ain't dropped off at all, bro. She ain't dropped off at all. She dates an NBA player right now.
It gets cringy sometimes.
She dates an NBA, maybe cringy, but she ain't fell off.
But the thing she doing, niggas is not checking for.
That's like Miss Twerk something. That shit didn't fell off.
No, she's different. She don't put her with Bernice. Don't put her with Bernice.
She's in her 30s still twerking.
I'm just saying it gets to the point with
Bernice
women.
is not doing that. That's Miss Twerk.
No, but I'm just saying, like, the aesthetic around the person gets cringy over time, because like, why are you
old to
exactly?
But they be saying that at this big age.
No,
but
even still, the stuff that they was doing when they was 30. I mean, with 20, wasn't it corny or kind of cringy at the end? It was just that niggas wanted to smash, so you get away with it.
Right, when niggas don't want to smash.
I don't think Bernice done anything outside of twirl around on Instagram and walk down the road. I don't think she done nothing corny the whole situation the whole time.
Niggas ain't going for Bernice.
So Miss Twerk,
she go with a nigga in the league right now, 25.
Which is cringy because her daughter's around her age.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when your kids are starting to be around the age of the people that you're trying to attract.
She's a grandmother. Bernice Burgos is a grandmother. Her daughter just had a baby.
She can get away with
that. That's where it's at, bro.
I just Googled, and Miss Twerk something is actually 30 on the dot.
She dates Jaylen Brown.
Really?
Off the Celtics.
Who? Bernice?
That nigga hoop.
Bernice?
Yes.
Really?
27, 26.
She gonna lock it right there, bro, and just keep it in her best interest. It would be just to calm it down, to stay with that.
But those are two different kind of entertainers or influencers. Blac Chyna versus Bernice. Like, Bernice,
she ain't never been on no shit like that.
You know her from looking good on the gram. You really don't know what her voice sounds like, to be honest.
Yeah, she actually went on the Breakfast Club and did an interview a few years back. If y'all want to go watch that, it was actually really good. She talked a lot about how in the club industry at that time, being a bartender was more glorified than being a dancer up in New York, because it really was like the star tender, that whole thing that came from women like Bernice Burgos. She started that, she coined that term and made it what it is. I give her props for that, for what she did for bartender life in general. But speaking realistically, like Sterling said, like as we get older as women, I don't like to feel like my clock is ticking, but I do know that if what I have to offer involves me physically, if that's all I got, I got a short amount of years to maintain that.
Those are the things that that Blac Chyna is changing. Her physical. She can still be a good person, great person. I'm not saying anything wrong with her. Like, she might be, you know what I'm saying, a cool ass chick. But physically, the things that she's trying to portray are those of what the younger generation would be attracted to. The people that are her age, or the people she's trying to attract, are no longer looking for that from her, at least.
So let me ask you this. So you think there's a purpose, or is there a certain caliber man she's going after now?
She's going after a pastor.
Yeah, give your theory about what she's going to be doing in 2 years.
KHAYLA J with the rumor report.
ISO.
Not the rumor report.
The rumor report.
Don't even do that. So I feel like in about 2 years, Blac Chyna is going to be with either a pastor or a white man, because she just got baptized. Well, she got baptized, I want to say in May. No. It was, she posted a video of her baptism.
Right.
I'm not correct on the date, so fact check me in the comments. But she posted a video of her baptism and like undergoing that. She posted the video of her getting her fillers removed, and in the video you can actually see them dissolving it and how her cheekbones are going down. Like she's curating this image of a wholesome Christian woman, you know. And even with her mom and all the uproar about that, Blac Chyna has always been able to circumnavigate that and just be like, you know what? I am who I am. Take me for me. Forget what she got going on. I think she's going to try to pull in someone religious and get to that religious bag, because they will begin to look at her as a woman anew, and she can talk about her journey in Christ and just move in that direction.
And I would say this, like, even with Amber Rose, what's tatted on her head?
Slash, her son's name.
No, on her head. Don't say slut.
It's Slash. It says Slash.
Oh,
that's her son's name.
You saw SL and was like,
well, I would just say this, like, her son is in middle school, or
Sebastian.
Yeah,
her and Will's son.
I would just say, you know what I'm saying, like, as these girls get older, they do have kids that are getting older with them. And these kids be on Instagram. They be on social media. They be on OnlyFans. Right. Bro. And imagine you go to school and everybody knows your mom. They seen the naked pictures. They seen videos. That's where it gets fishy. Because these women are getting older now, and they got kids that are getting older too.
So it's funny you bring that up. I was on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and everybody was talking about Lala and how, like, in every show that she's in, she's always getting clapped, and how Cayenne, her son, is like, yo, I can only imagine how he feels with people saying things like that.
That's like, it's a new generation of, like, these people, those kids are going to be the guinea pigs to, like, say how they feel about it. But living it in real time, I couldn't imagine, like, seeing my mom getting clapped on the gram, or, like, everybody looking at her. You know, she got the BB, like, the whole thing is just, like, as a kid,
even the role she plays.
I mean, I honestly don't think that's as distasteful. Not distasteful, but I'm saying you can kind of defend that even if you're joking. It's like, okay,
I'm an actor.
Yeah, she's an actor, even though it's not the most
but
prestigious
kids don't care. You know,
actor.
kids are mean.
But I'm saying compare that to the OnlyFans. Like the OnlyFans, where
technically
no, but it's the difference between, okay, somebody's grabbing my naked ass on a TV show that I'm getting paid for, as opposed to, like, you know, this is your mama. With it spread open, this is your mama. This is where you came from, bro. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it. Look at her toys. It's being able to get a full rundown.
Okay, and in the perfect world, hopefully, when I bring children into this world, we will accept sex work as real work. That is the goal.
It is real work.
It is real work, but I wish that it wasn't so criticized. But that's a whole nother.
But you gotta realize, this is not the 35-year-old man that's doing this frying on your son. This is a 7-year-old boy
who don't know no better.
He's gonna roast the shit out of your son.
But it also comes from social media, which a lot of us that are at our age that we're on, we're commenting, and these younger children are seeing what we're saying, and they're taking that and they're running with, they're adding their own opinions to it. Like, think about when you play the game and you play multiplayer mode or universal mode, whatever y'all want to call it, I don't know about that, and you got other people from different areas in your ear talking smack to you or saying whatever they're saying. A lot of them kids be young. They be young kids, and they be talking cold cash shit. And so when you think about how the internet has made it to where we can all connect on different different levels, and there's really no age restrictions, even though they say they are. Think about what they can find a way. And a lot of times we say, oh, well, they're young, they don't know no better, but we do, but we're still engaging in the conversation.
So what do you say we do?
I don't know, because I can't tell people. I can't tell people to restrict what they talking about, and I can't tell you to mute yourself. But just in the age of thinking, like, if I was Blac Chyna's daughter, Dream, Rob's daughter, if I was Dream, and so let's say Dream is probably about 6 at this age, right about now, Dream is probably 6. By the time she gets to like the age of 12 or 14, where people can really start to like pinpoint who she is and what's around her, I feel like she's gonna kind of grow with that. Okay, well, I don't care. My family still got more money than you. I think
that happens a little bit earlier than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think around, because cell phones. Think about it. When our children getting their first cell phones, middle school, really, right now.
Well, it was middle school for us, but I think it's younger than that because my nephew had one at like 8 or 9. So
yeah, you really 11 years old with showing somebody. That's your mom, ain't it? that's my that's my whole thing with it. So.
But before we go too far left. A couple weeks ago, there was a lot of talk. Well, not even a couple weeks, really in the last couple of weeks total. There's a lot of talk about India and Dirk and how Dirk is like just still chasing India down. And as men, I want to know what y'all think about this tactic that he's using to still try to lure her in when she done pretty much said, yo, I'm outside, I'm done, whatever.
What's the tactic he's using?
He's using social media to kind of like, happy birthday queen, and he's doing all that, and he's trying to go that route of publicly engaging with her, and she's publicly ignoring this man.
I think that's what if you look at Offset and Cardi, that kind of worked, because I think at this point he's saying, I'm willing to embarrass myself in front of everybody because I obviously embarrassed you in front of everybody. So it's like being able to put your pride out there and say, that's how bad I want you. I think that has some reverence. Whether it's gonna work or not, I'm not sure.
And niggas know, like, they don't know if it's gonna work, but like they'll take that L. Like if it don't work, like I might as well just try. Like at this point it's over, so I might as well try everything, including the public embarrassment, and that might trigger something in you to be like.
But Dirk has been doing this for months. Like it ain't just this. It ain't like this just came out of nowhere.
If you got a girl, is she entertaining it at all?
No, like India. If India replies, it's more so her replying to everybody else, telling her to reply. And she's like, y'all leave me alone. I'm happy. I'm at peace with myself. I don't want this man. Like she's like very egregiously shooting him. She's not pulling a Jayda. She's pulling a full on India, like she's in her own lane.
But
where she's like,
he done sold out her cosmetics line. He done put her in like 2-3 songs on the Drake features, man. I don't know.
He got India Part 3, Part 2, India, like.
And so going back to the little baby Jayda conversation, like you said, do you think that she can find another Dirt or pull another Dirt?
Absolutely.
Who would be?
Absolutely.
Who else?
Because India didn't play the Jayda route. India made it clear, once you start like embarrassing me, I'm gonna dip. It's when you stay through the embarrassment that you put you bring your value down a little bit every time. And as a woman who has stayed through embarrassment, I know what that feels like. But once you stay through that and other high profile men see that you're willing to stay, it does kind of bring your value down a tad. And also too, because let's be honest, while Dirk is a great rapper and he is what he is now, Dirk didn't hit his peak till 2020 with Laugh Now Cry Later. Like he really didn't.
And I was gonna say, he's not as respected as Baby. People got beef with him.
People really got beef.
The niggas that got beef.
He's feared though. That's what I'm like.
When a nigga,
but you know,
I mean, he's not gonna do anything, obviously. But
the niggas that got beef with him will try to get in India for that.
Yeah. Just
Baby is a little bit different.
Who does he got beef with that would try that?
Well, you know the whole Quando Rondo thing that they had going on, and then the King Von thing.
There's no way Quando Rondo is.
No, not him, but we're saying people on his team or like people that he knows.
Who let the GDs in the GDs? That's what you're saying.
Listen, you talking gangs that I don't know, but we just saying.
Those are his literal. That's what I'm saying.
Anybody who got beef with O-Block would feel like I should try to take India now.
The GD, I'm saying that these we're being very literal. You said the people who have beef with them. I'm telling you,
who's him?
We're not saying just
these are the people who have beef with him. That's what I'm saying.
Using as an example. Like they're an example of some people who might try it. Not saying it's gonna work, but that can't stop a nigga from trying. I'm saying it's like this though. India could pull an NBA player quicker than Jayda could. Way quicker than Jayda could.
Okay,
because more niggas got respect for Baby than they do for Dirk.
I think she's just not as known as Jayda.
No, that's not true.
As Jayda?
I feel like because Dirk put India on the pedestal that he put her on, he put his woman out there for her to be known. India was real cool, real chill, real low key. Dirk took India and was like, I'm gonna show my girl off. I'm gonna tell everybody about her. I'm gonna bring her out. He did that.
Yeah,
he did that. Jayda
it goes back to your original, how you said Jayda was already her own girl before.
Thank you, Sterling.
That point plays a part in this because she already was her. Baby made her put on another. India wasn't like doing too much before Dirk.
And let's be technical. Without Baby, Jayda's still gonna be Jayda. And right now we're seeing that India is taking the route of, okay, I understand that this man is my child's father. We were dating for a certain amount of years. He helped me do all of these things, but I'm going to coin this term of who I am outside of him. India hasn't really done
she ain't
much.
Really branched off from that shit.
She hasn't really branched off much from it, but she really don't have to. She really don't have to. India is India. And so I think when we look at this whole thing of like winning your woman back, my mom said a point this morning earlier on the phone. She said a lot of men are scared to move on or start over, so because of that they try to circle back and stay where they already are because it's just easier. Do y'all agree or disagree?
80% of divorces are not because 80% of divorces are done by women. That's because men will choose to stay. Y'all be the ones who are like, I'm out, like I'm because I think that secondhand embarrassment, that whole thing we was talking about earlier, women like to say that they left the dude. Dudes don't like to say that my girl left me. You know what I'm saying? That shit is bad.
But y'all even won't leave if you're not happy. Like even if she's mistreating you ain't happy, she ain't cook, she ain't clean. Yeah, right, you cheat before you leave, and that's the part I don't understand.
I think in terms of that statistic, when it comes to marriage, I think that number would look a lot different if alimony and child support and that wasn't if you didn't lose that much money with a divorce.
Men, that's a real investment when you marry a woman. So you gotta stick it through regardless if you happy or not. So
that's why what it says, cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, like that's why niggas would rather cheat. It's like, would I rather lose half of everything I work for or
lose a couple hundred every week? This advantage y'all did the same hand motion.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Make sure you put that in production. They both did like this.
But if you do a prenup, it's like that's all up.
Oh, I'm having a prenup and a postnup.
That's and a post. Educate me. What is a postnup?
So a prenup is is what you agree on before like getting into the nuptials, and a postnup is what can change throughout the duration of us being married. Like we can always go back and reevaluate the prenup to be a postnuptial agreement where things may change along the way. Oh, my best friend is a lawyer and she done put me up on game.
But how do you even construct a postnup in a happy relationship? That's
it's all about being realistic, bro. You know, you the financial guy. You the one marrying for money. You should know.
Because I'm also very emotionally intelligent. And I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to think of a conversation that you can have with a woman. Not KHAYLA J is of course a completely different individual. She's so self-aware and so real. But if we're talking about general women, I'm trying to imagine a conversation where my guy STERL is completely married in a happy relationship. He somehow managed to get a prenup. He's worth millions of dollars. And 5 years into this very healthy marriage with 2 kids, happily functioning family, he's going to tell his wife, hey, that prenup that we signed, let's go back and revisit and make it fair in case we ever get divorced. I'm trying to understand how that conversation happens in a healthy situation.
So, right, I would say just like that. And if the person you're married to, if you married them for their emotional level of intelligence and the conversation that you can have, and also too, let's just be clear, postnuptials don't mean that it's a bad thing or that it's about money. Sometimes having agreements in writing just means it's a saying of what we agree to.
It's going to hold you to a certain
right. It holds you to a certain standard. It's not always financial.
I think you're talking about how things should be, and I agree.
But it can go both ways.
I'm saying in the literal, in how things actually work in terms of the population. I'm trying to imagine what that conversation looks like.
Well, let's give the hypothetical. Like, let's say I'm married and me and my husband had a prenup, and then somewhere along the way I become Tabitha Brown. Let's use Aunt Tab as a perfect example because y'all know Aunt Tab.
I know her.
Yeah. Okay.
What is she?
Aunt Tab. Hello there.
Oh yeah. Okay. With that natural head soft voice.
So yes, let's use Aunt Tab as a perfect example. Her and her husband are from North Carolina. They moved to LA. He was a police officer this whole time. They've been married. She's been pursuing her acting career. Aunt Tab is 42 and her acting career just took off in 2020. Yeah. Now they've been married for a very long time, since their 20s. And now she's been able to retire him from working at the police force because she makes all the money. Aunt Tab could easily be like, hey, let's do a postnuptial because now I'm the breadwinner. This changes because if we get divorced, now I have to pay you half of what I got. Like Mary J. Blige. When Mary J. Blige got divorced from her last manager / husband because he was her manager, he took half of everything she had.
But I think when you did that hypothetical, you completely changed the situation. I'm saying specifically, I feel like that's a conversation is easier for a woman to have with a man than the opposite.
No, it's not, because he's going to be like, well...
Do you agree or do you disagree?
Sterling, if your woman came to you and was like, Sterling, we need a post-nut because I'm making more money than you.
No, I feel like that's an easier conversation than you saying, hey, listen, shorty, we got to do this post-up.
Either way, it's gonna be like a little bit of
hard.
it's a hard combo.
That's my argument. It's a very difficult. It's not as easy breezy as you make it seem like. Oh yeah, you can just do a post up. Hopefully, BRIL or whoever. I'm saying feelings are gonna be stepped on. It's gonna be hurt. It's gonna be like, damn, why are you even thinking like? Somebody is gonna have those feelings.
But the
it's
thing
not
is,
gonna be seamless.
Hopefully, you're with somebody that y'all have them open, honest convos with, and it's just like this is just a. Like, and like you should know if your person is really like looking forward to doing that, or they're just talking hypothetically.
Okay.
But it is like it's like dudes, we bite our pride all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to do this shit, but like I'm gonna just do it on the sake of this. Mm-hmm. Women, I don't know if they do it as much, but it might be it's gonna be a tough combo either way it goes.
Exactly. So. But I also feel like this kind of goes into the topic of who bums the hardest, because if your wife,
the queen of segues,
the queen of the segues,
killing shit.
Okay. Well, think about it like this. If you married to somebody and she's sitting at home, she's not doing her part, and y'all got a prenup that basically says that if y'all divorce, she gets half of everything, you might not feel that she's worthy of half of everything because she doesn't work.
The prenup, if she's still gonna get half of everything.
But that's when a postnup comes into play, because you're like, you know what, you ain't been doing your part around here. We need to reevaluate how this works out. If for some reason this doesn't work out, because it don't look like it will.
And what do you think the response is?
Oh, she gonna pitch a bitch. For sure.
That's all I was.
She gonna pitch a bitch because she's gonna be like, well,
she can pitch a bitch, but this shit can still
but you gotta have it.
But so don't both parties have to sign the prenup and agree to?
Oh, absolutely.
She gonna be bitching. She's still gonna sign it.
Yeah, she gonna have to sign it.
So, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that y'all made it seem as if it was a seamless conversation.
Oh no, it's never seamless. Even a prenup is ridiculous.
We could just happen. Oh, we could just do this over dinner. We're so emotionally intelligent, aware of ourselves. We can both have this conversation over dinner. We sign these papers and get the lawyers. And it's just
arguments. They be bullshit. We get over it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this can drive a rift into a relationship. No matter
but there's already a rift if she's a bum at home.
Yeah, it's must have already.
I don't think so. I don't think so. If we speak in general terms, I mean.
Oh, so you okay with your woman being a bum?
No, I'm not. But I'm speaking general. We speak generally on this podcast. That's why I was talking about Jayda like that, because I respect women who hustle. You know what I'm saying? Right. The business in me. But
do you feel like Lil Baby and Jayda wouldn't be as big of a commodity if Jayda didn't hustle?
Absolutely. Jayda had so many fans before him.
Absolutely.
That's what
she brought her fan base over to him.
That's what I'm about to say, and vice versa. Like, the only reason why I know who Jayda is, not saying she wasn't popular before, but it's because of Baby. And there's a lot of women who probably wouldn't know. I mean, at this point maybe, but early on wouldn't know in 2017 who he was without her. So I mean,
my dog dropped and I was lit, so I don't know. Like, I'm a different case.
You was around in the club. I feel like it was
easy for me to kind of like catch on to the wave of who Lil Baby was outside of Jayda. Because let me be honest with y'all, Lil Baby put me on to Jayda. I didn't know who Jayda was prior to Lil Baby.
Me neither.
You were
I'm probably one of the only women.
You knew who Jayda was before?
No, but I'm saying I know from just speaking to women. There are women who've been following her from some fashion shit since middle school. I am one of the only women on this earth who did not know who Jayda Wayda was till she started dating Lil Baby. But then once I figured it out, I went back, did my research.
You do your research and it's there.
Yeah, you had to do your research to know it was there. But that goes back to, your point of just how like she had her own thing before him, her own motion, but when their motion came together, it was powerful. But I like to also use the example of Kylie and Travis, because let's be technical, Travis Scott was great, amazing, did not need Kylie, but Kylie took it and
she boosted him.
That's because that's two totally different cultures. Right. He can be corporate with her now.
Travis Scott is now a pop artist.
Yeah, the corporate bag is now there when you date
which is also why that
white woman.
Well, but that's also why that Astroworld situation got blown out into the proportions that it did. Because let's be honest, if he was just dating a regular black woman, not regular, but like just a black woman, about like if he had stayed dating Rihanna, it wouldn't have got blown out of proportion like it did because he dated
Rihanna's
Kylie.
a bad example.
Well, I'm saying like just a black woman with status.
He was dating a white woman.
Exactly.
That shit got real bad.
And the fan base changes too a lot. And then you also have people who support him just off the strength of her, who are willing to cut him off. Just because
I would throw this under the control. A lot of his fans are white.
Yep,
like white little boys and shit. Like a lot of them people that
do the mosh pits and all that stuff.
Like his type of music, he has a huge white fan base.
At least the hard ticket sales are white, heavier white fans.
Yeah, like we rock with him, but we buying the tickets at the last minute. We not buying them
the white boys is buying them tickets to see Travis Scott.
I think that's a lot of artists.
Buying the Travis Scott shoes, and they buying all the Travis Scott.
They the reason why mochas were damn near $1,200.
Travis Scott is a household name because the majority of it is because of Kylie, though.
Kylie helped him get that McDonald's deal. Remember that?
For sure.
Like, there were a lot of things that dating that woman and being in the Kris Jenner circle of family, that man was able to benefit from. But when we talk about like the little babies and the Jaydas of the world that are in relationships, we don't have that. The black on black, we don't have that same benefit and access to certain levels of, you know, just stature and just, you know, just that access. Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah, because they go, I mean, you think about it, Travis is going with Kylie to like the Rick Owens shows and shit like that. I'm not saying, totally baby, I'm just thinking like those big white like conglomerates and those like businesses that Kylie can go to just because of who she is.
Even
and
Kanye,
now I'm bringing my plus one.
Even Kanye and Kim. Kanye doesn't make it into a lot of those fashion rooms without Kim.
And I'm gonna be technical. Honestly. Let's even talk about Rob and Chyna. Like, Rob being the white male put Chyna in a lot of spaces where she became more of a name. Yeah, she was able to sue the Kardashians for talking trash about her and her child, like literally legally sue them. But she got a show on E. Her and Rob had a show together. They were able to put her pregnancy out there. Like, Blac Chyna being with Rob was a power move.
Right.
So that Kardashian, I tell people all the time, anybody that dates a Kardashian knows what they're doing for their publicity. Like, have y'all been seeing that Ben Simmons and Bad Bunny been going at it over Kendall?
Yeah.
Like, just they've been going at it. They've been throwing shots at each other.
He threw a shot in the song talking about it's hotter in the Dominican than it is in Phoenix or something like that.
Yeah, Bad Bunny been like they arguing over this white woman.
Sick.
Like, for real.
That's tough when your career is not going that good. It's tough to get an argument over women.
Let's not say. I was like, because Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
I'm saying Bad Bunny is amazing. He's arguably bigger than Drake on the
universal scale.
Universal scale. But I'm talking about Ben Simmons. Like,
oh yeah, you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
that money he getting is not the money you get.
That Bad Bunny bag is a totally different type of bag than what Ben Simmons is getting. I will agree for that. But I think when we talk about like just the different types of bags, as a woman who is dating a man of that kind of caliber, I can low-key be a bum at home and get away with it because my man is doing so much. Not saying that I would be cool with that. Like, I love social media, content creation, all the different things that come around it. So even if I am at home, I'm gonna be doing something. I can't just be sitting at home. But there are some women that, you know what, my man makes way more than enough bacon for everything that we got going on here. I'm just gonna cook, clean, wash, keep the house up.
And honestly,
I think that makes you not a bum though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
and I was gonna say men will take that over you being like all those other things because men in relationships aren't looking like when you're in Bad Bunny. He not looking for no girl to help him build any money. He want a girl that he can come home from tour can take care of him. And it's just so looked down upon now when you hear a girl like being submissive to her man. But like when you ask a man what he wants, he's gonna say I want a girl that cooks, cleans, but it's in a good hearted way because men are so busy and you fighting the world, you doing all this, you selling to, like, you doing so much outside. When you come home, it'd be great to have a woman that's looking out for your best interest. Because like as an artist, you putting out music for everybody else. You doing shit for your publicist, your manager, everybody making money off you. So if you can come home and talk to the one person that don't give a fuck about none of that and they catering to you, that makes you feel good as a man.
I think about it in this aspect, man. In terms of women getting to a bag, right? I look at a woman in her hustle getting to a bag in the same light that a woman might look at a man in his hygiene and his ability to cook and take care of himself and be organized. You don't need him to be the best at it. You just want to know that he can do the shit for himself, if that makes sense. Like, I don't need you to make $1 million. I just need to know that you can turn one into two at some level.
I was gonna say,
a woman doesn't need to see a nigga, scrubbing his toilet, but you want to come over his house and shit be in line, even if you do plan to cook and clean, just to know that he can do the shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what it's more, just know that you can do it. You know
and I would say, like, men look at, like, what is the example I'm looking at? If a dude went to a girl and told, like, yo, I got an amazing shoe collection, she'd be like, okay. I think that's how dudes look at girls who come up and be like, yo, I'm a boss bitch. I got everything going on. It's like, okay, that's cool.
Nice.
That's nice. But I'm not looking for that. That's great that you got a shoe collection and you got this.
A nigga come through and be like, yo, listen, I can clean the hell out of a toilet. You should see my shower. How about just scrub that? How put that?
That's what you're supposed to do, ain't it?
Like, no nigga washes clothes better than me. Like,
this is some things we look for versus what women look for. And in them big situations, when it comes to who bums the hardest, a woman can't be a bum if she's doing the things that her man wants.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it just gets socially claimed as being a bum because you just staying home. But shit, if that's what your man wants you to do,
so do you feel like, because KHAYLA wants a man, I want my husband to be a stay-at-home husband. Like, I want to be able to go out, work.
Would you lose?
Oh, God.
can't tell me that it's impossible for you to make $1 million. Like, a lot of people want to make $1 million or even 6 figures. You cannot do that.
Even with a 6-figure 9 to 5, it's still impossible.
Yeah, you can't do that no matter what. But like literally, if you can buy enough product, you can sell $1 million in a day. But now the skill level it takes to do that, that's different. That's where niggas' business is closed and open, all shit's so sustained. But let's go back. We back, y'all. Time in. Kayla, you were telling us about your house husband and how you were saying you willing to take care of everything.
You make it sound like I got a house husband and a field husband. Talking about your house husband.
Hey, so your house husband change the diapers, take the kids to the soccer games while you're editing your content, doing the beauty situation with Bojangles and whatnot.
That's my dream. My dream is to have my husband be a stay-at-home husband and him be okay with that. And I think that's the main thing to notate here is that he's okay with being at home and taking care of home, because I feel like my influencer journey and me being a content creator and social media, one thing about it, like, God forbid, even if TikTok gets banned and even if influencer marketing goes in the trash, social media has become a huge part of our lives. And social media marketing, every business needs it. Every business that's going to sustain it, every business that has an e-commerce platform, you need social media marketing to sustain. STERL, BRIL, So for me right now, the lane I'm in is while I'm trying to build my influencer bag, I'm working with companies on the back end and managing their social medias, helping them create strategies, helping them reach out to influencers and bring them on systems.
Help them develop a system. They ain't gonna let you go.
It's systems. And that's what my master's was really centered around, was like putting systems in place from a psychology aspect. So for me, it's like, if I can build this business now, and when I meet my person, if I'm still building, I'm still growing, I plan to turn this into something that's bigger than life. And if I can get to where I'm going with it and my husband can stay home, I'd rather him stay home and me go upstairs and do my makeup, create my content. He's fixing breakfast. He's taking the kids to the park. He's taking them to soccer practice, and him not feel like less than a man.
I'm interested that you say that. Do you think that will be a challenge as opposed to the inverse of that, finding a man who would rather have you doing those things? Do you think that would be a challenge?
For me, as the type of woman who I like to be super active and I like to have a job and have something going on, even if my man says, okay, Kayla, you can stay at home, I'm like, I'm gonna stay at home and I'm gonna keep creating content. There's some money that's gonna be generated in some way, but my thing is, for him, is like, if Kayla can leverage what Kayla got going on and you don't have to work, it's an option. Somebody got to take care of these chaps. So that's, it's like, facts. One of us has got to be at home, or we're going to pay for some really expensive daycare. And I feel like that first option is going to be a whole lot cheaper than the second. So I don't think it's something that's going to create an issue for me, but I have to find a man that's secure within his masculinity enough to where when y'all be joking on him, be like, man, you at home with the kids. Kayla got you at home with the kids. Like,
I almost spend that. I don't know, man. That whole mommy and me with the baby on YouTube, that's a lane. So you might need to keep them kids. You might need to babysit with the cam.
The kids,
I'm not putting my children on social media. I'm not putting my children on social media, especially not right away, because social media is a very cruel place. And we just talked about how children just pick up on things and tease each other and stuff. I don't plan on putting my children out there. I really don't even plan on putting my husband out there until I get a ring. So the next guy who dates me, please understand, if you propose to Kayla, that's when social media will give you a face. Aside from that, they won't even know who you are unless they see us out in public. And that's only because people aren't really happy for you like they claim they are. That's the first thing. And second thing, and this goes both ways, when people know that you're dating somebody, they was talking to me 2 weeks ago, or they slid in my DMs. It's always that older stuff that comes up. Kayla wants to circumnavigate that.
Circumnavigate. Circumnavigate. What was the other one?
Tumultuous.
Okay, this is vocabulary.
She telling y'all today, but y'all wanted her back. She came with all the
I came with the words, but no,
and she told y'all niggas how to get at her.
I feel like being an influencer now, I've wanted to make my life more private. It's like the more I show, the more I want to keep to myself.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like that's a skill too, because somebody was telling me the other day, it was like, Jabril, you got your whole life on social media, and I asked him, I was like, well, tell me, what is this? What is it? So you don't know me. You think you know do.
You know what I let you see.
I think we all go through that. All of us got a pretty decent following on the gram, and or just social media. Period. And it's like, this is what I want y'all to see. Y'all don't know the stuff that I don't want, that I keep private, and it's hard to like find that divide. Even now, like posting your shorty and shit like that, it's like you want people to see, but at the same time, you know they're not gonna be happy. You know somebody will come out the woodworks talking shit.
And as a woman,
you know what I'm saying,
I will lose so many followers the minute I post any man that I'm dating. Like, men will get salty, they leave, it's funny because I'll keep followers if I pop up pregnant, but if I pop up with a man, y'all are out. y'all are out. If I post both, it's
I think men be having that like fantasy that could be them, and then when you post who it really is, it's like, oh shit, let me unfollow. Men will take
I think some niggas just be waiting on one day I'm gonna kill that, and then they see Buddy, they like, oh well, nah, that's over with. Well, unfollow.
That's so crazy because I just feel like as a woman, we put our happiness out there. But I had to tell somebody the other day, social media is just like you said, a glimpse of what people want you to see. People only share their happy moments or their highs. It's very rarely that you find someone that's willing to share those lows. And so on my TikTok, I've been sharing more of my low moments. I haven't really done it more on Instagram. I feel like on TikTok I can be my most authentic self. I can get on there with a bonnet on, no makeup, and just talk to my people. How's the
reception been of the low shows on TikTok?
It's been very open. So I did a series where I talked about why I stopped creating content for about 2 months after I lost my nephew and my godfather both to cancer back to back. I did a small series where I kind of talked about why I took a break from content creating. I got so much positive feedback because people are like, yeah, your mental health, like, you need to deep dive into that. But there's so many influencers that you would have never even known that they went through that. They would have just kept pushing because that was me. For 2 months, I was pushing through. I hit a wall one day and I was like, you know what? I need a break. So to sum it all up, like being in the public eye, I want to share less. But if I get to a point with my partner where we can agree that, okay, what KHAYLA got going on and what she's putting out into the universe is bringing us way more money and it's substantial and we can put that money towards investments. We can still pay off what the kids need. Like if it's enough to still have leftover to play, oh yeah, why not? But if he want to go out and still have a job, that's fine. But I mean, You
just prefer it the other way.
Yeah, I would prefer it the other way because I'm gonna need at least 3 days out the week to record content and maybe a day to edit. You know. I'm
sorry to derail, but these segues are so juicy, man. I kind of want to talk on the whole, I guess, posting your significant other situation, man. Because my girl's got a good following, and I got a good following. One of the things I didn't mind posting as much like legit feed posts and making TikToks because we got those type of personalities. But when I posted that shit, it went viral, and then might be a little bit not what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with S. Like walking out of superstitious like type shit. It was just around the time that De'Aaron and Ken had broke up when we was going viral, and I saw the whole scope, and I'm like, bro, I can't imagine a bag like you do the whole relationship thing, and now your brain is kind of attached to this other person. It's compromised because now it's at a point where I feel like anything that you put out to them, you're giving them access to, like you said, that you're giving them the right to have an opinion. If you put your relationship, you have like couple goals, like I guess Queen Naj and Clarence. Like I don't feel like their relationship is theirs. I feel like we all kind of not own it, but it's everybody.
We give our opinion.
We give our opinions. People live vicariously through them. So I feel like that's a hell of a pressure to put on, two people.
It's a slippery slope, bro.
Yeah,
because you got to figure out how to do it. And monetize or whatever your goal is, and keep it realistic. Like keep it like we do have a real relationship outside of what y'all see.
People.
We're real people. We like to go out by ourselves. We do, you know what I'm saying, what we do in our bedroom.
But that's
like
the hard part about it is remaining real humans.
Right.
Because people will see what you put out there and they'll start commenting and saying, oh, he don't really like her because he don't look at her this way, or she don't really like him, and like it's like they start, and then it gets into your head. Like even
then
if it's not
unconsciously gonna start getting into your relationship.
Even if it's unconscious, because it starts to play a role in how you view yourself or what you're doing. I'd be like, the first bad comment, I'm like, oh no, we ain't doing that no more. So I'm not even gonna go down that route. But relationship content is a bag. Relationship and pregnancy are two different types of content.
OnlyFans, like posting her feet on OnlyFans. I was like, only way I let it go is if I'm like,
oh, that's nothing, STERL.
Yeah, but I know I'm saying only way I let it go if I'm like managing it and I'm getting a percentage.
And you know what I'm saying? Why not?
I feel like that's a slip. Not your shorty, but I'm saying like that is a slip. That money is addictive, man. I feel like that, like that OnlyFans money, that bottle girl money, that dancer money, that shit is addictive, and that's why it was a point in time where my shorty was like entertaining being a bottle girl. It's probably like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, no. I was like, hell no.
But did you think about the money, BRIL?
No, the money is why I said
BRIL was probably real conflicted.
I wasn't.
The money.
No. Because I understand money, and that's the reason why I said hell no. Because it wasn't that the money is something I consider. That money is so good, it's good enough for you to forget about your actual goals.
Morals and
like I know several people right now. The money is so good. you got into being
They're
a
stuck.
dancer, got into being a bottle girl, you got into doing OnlyFans because you wanted to fund this dream, but you get into it and it's so much fun and the money is so much. It's 2 years later and you forgot what you got into it for.
Right.
And that's a situation why I didn't want, because you know she got the cooking shit. I don't want you getting so much money from the bottle girl shit and then you ain't done a cooking video in 2 months now because you're having so much fun getting so much money from this.
Because it's so easy and it's so fun. And I remember I was talking to my homegirl Drea recently, and she was just like, we want to go back into the club? I'm like, girl, I don't know.
It's a slippery slope,
but we assessed that if we did, we would have to have a plan for the money and an exit plan. Like you have to have the entry plan and an exit plan.
Right.
Because with the club, if you don't have either one of those, you'll get stuck, which is how with Onyx, you know, love my Onyx family, but I didn't plan to be there that long. I didn't plan to look up and one day it had been 3 years. I didn't plan for that when I walked into that door, but I also went into it with, okay, I'm going to make some money, but I didn't have any intentions with the money. So as the money started coming in, it went out just as quick. Whereas if you go into the club industry like, okay, I want to buy a house, so I'm gonna work until I buy a house. Once you buy a house, that's your exit. You get out. But a lot of people go into the club and into nightlife and thinking it's a get rich quick scheme, and then they look up and they're 40 and they're still slinging bottles.
The crazy thing is, okay, so you get that house, but now what have you built that can pay that mortgage? So yeah, you had the money for the down. You right back into it because okay, you said the goal was to stack $30K, right? So you get $30K and then you get out. But what happens when you got that $30K? Boom, I got it. But this Friday, I'm supposed to leave. It's Monday. I'm supposed to leave. Bills, but Friday. Oh shit! It's CIAA. I can make $3,000 that whole weekend.
Let me go real quick.
Let me go real quick. Next week, Tuesday, Key Glock coming in town. I need to kind of. It's like that. It's so hard. I know that type of fast money. That's why drug dealers is so hard to get out, because you built this lifestyle based off of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to get out. That's why I didn't want that to even be an issue going forward.
You gotta take your money legit. You gotta find a legal way and a legit way to funnel your money, like, you know, trucking or having a boutique, being a lash boss.
Like when I'm doing the 9 to 5, and you got the 5 to 9.
Yep.
So that would probably be the circumvented way to do it, is where like we do that, and I am getting them Key Glock and CIAA, but I do have a business already going,
but that's
not like an aspiration.
Tiring.
But that's I think that's even a little bit different. I feel like I'm the contrarian a lot of times, man. But it's not purposefully. It's
I was just giving an example that maybe it could work.
I feel like your situation is different. I'm saying from the bottle girl situation, because I feel like no cap can make you money easier than your job.
You can make money in your sleep with no cap. I can't make money in my sleep as a bottle girl.
No, but even as a bottle girl, I don't feel like there are ways you can make that much money as easy as it is. That's what I'm saying. It's one thing when
debatable.
Go tell me, educate me.
So I say debatable because over time you build clientele, and I had some women that I was working with, especially in Onyx, who would come to work on a slow night and leave with way more money than everybody else because they got clientele, they got regulars, they got people that come to the club just to see them, just to, like, you know, patronize them, just to put money in their pockets. And once you build that rapport, you can go anywhere in the city and your crowd is gonna go with you. You are looked at as a promoter almost, because like, shout out to my girl Bree, shout out to Slay, shout out to any of the girls that I know that really have like a following, because what happens is no matter what, they can go anywhere in Charlotte. They can take a club that's literally nothing and bring their clientele over, and they sling about.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's gonna be very hard to have a bag that's not associated with the club that you get easier.
Oh, true.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard, because now let's say if you do run a business and you make that same amount of money at the club, what it's gonna take you to make 50 in the club is gonna be way easier to make 50 when you gotta build a business. So there's nothing that's gonna pay you that much that's gonna be as easy, especially if you look worth something. And you know what I'm saying?
I agree. And as me having Eclectic Edge, you know, that was my boutique, and I did it for a year and a half, and my goal was to just stay in business longer than a year. That was the goal, and I did that. And then I took a step back and I looked at it and I said, okay, what can I do to make this business better? And I realized me being an influencer and being able to market my own products off my brand was going to take me so much further. So I said, okay, I'm gonna put Eclectic Edge on pause, build up my personal brand, and then bring Eclectic Edge back, because once I have a community that'll buy it no matter what, it's easy marketing. I'll never have to post another piece of Eclectic Edge content ever again, because it's going to sell out. And that's what it is. That's what Jayda's doing. That's what Ari's doing. That's what De'Ara's doing.
Shit, that's what I'm doing. I ain't made a hair video in like a year and a half. Bro.
Like, I took a whole break from no cap for a minute.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? To get into the corporate
you
shit.
You built community. And that community sustains your company. And KHAYLA worked backwards. And I tell people all the time, if I had known then what I know now about influencer marketing, I would have definitely built my own brand up back then. Especially because back then TikTok was more popular popping and things like that. Where companies were throwing money at you like golf, like just handing them out like what Donald Trump throwing them paper towels in Puerto Rico. Just shooting it. It was because back then people didn't understand, and if you were a black creator, they wanted to throw money at you because of Black Lives Matter. Now it's like, oh, we really got to see a ROI. Yeah, we got to see return on our investment. We got to see that your content is like that. But don't want to get too much into that. But
I think that's a natural progression of every social media platform. I feel like it's the wild, wild west at first. Like it's when it's still unproven. Like TikTok in the early 2020s, even though that was kind of developed before then. If you hopped on TikTok in early 2020 and stayed consistent, you up now. If you didn't blow up, you fucking suck.
If you didn't do it,
if you didn't blow up, you suck. Man. But everybody who stayed consistent is now at least getting some form of a bag off of it. But now if you were to start today, now that
it's a little late,
it's so
much harder.
Not only is it kind of saturated, but the skill level is up. Like with this podcast, one would say that the podcast market is saturated. That's why we had to hit the ground running with the quality, with the content. We had to pull on our network to get it. Exactly. We had to do that shit out the rip. If we were lesser niggas, like with lesser production, lesser network, lesser conversation, then it would be very hard to start this late as opposed to us starting in 2015. We could suck ass really for a long time. The fact that we got it would make a difference, man.
I agree, but I want to say last thing before we close it out. It is Women's History Month.
It is Women's History Month.
Close us out with Women's History Month.
Man. So Women's History Month is something that's very important to all people, but mainly women. And I like to highlight a lot of Black women during Women's History Month. So I wanted to ask you guys, who are your top 3 favorite female actresses? Yes.
Good question.
And female as in women. I'm not calling them females. I know that term is so derogatory sometimes. I don't know why.
Females got to the point where it's not even.
You can't even call them females.
But it's hard to, in sentence structure in English, it's hard to replace women with it's hard to replace female with women.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Women actors doesn't. That's English. That grammatically. What is that? Grammatically, shit. That is incorrect.
Third big word of the day.
Grammatically. Tumultuous.
And circumnavigate.
Nah, grammatically isn't in that conversation. I just fucked it up a little bit.
Okay. Top 3.
Damn.
We can go back and forth. I'm gonna put top Viola Davis.
No particular order.
Viola Davis. I'm gonna throw that name out there. I'm still thinking. Okay. Go ahead. Throw one out there.
I'm just go like this Danny. I like Megan Good.
She hasn't really acted in nothing in a while.
I'm thinking about the stuff that I have seen her in. I felt like she's a good actor. Like she's studied her craft and like I don't know. She's probably not in anything recent, but it's the stuff that I've saw.
She
her
got
in.
Harlem.
Let me.
Okay,
I'll go Zoe Saldana. I like her.
That's a good one.
She sort of slept on.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm gonna throw that one out. I'm gonna say that one instead of Megan Good. That just came to my head.
What we got, BRIL?
I feel like I want to say a Black woman, but I don't even know what ethnicity. I was gonna say Angelina Jolie.
Okay, you're right. I would say it doesn't have to be Black women.
Okay,
just do women.
Oh yeah, it is women's history.
Women. Yeah, but okay, anyway. So I'll say Angelina Jolie.
I love Angelina Jolie, especially in Mr. and Mrs. Smith and the Tomb Raider.
What? Those 2 movies alone could cement
and
her.
Salt. The Salt series was good.
What's that lady that's everybody grandma on like everything? She be on Medea stuff.
You talking not Alfred Woodard? You're talking about Lynn Whitfield or Jennifer Lewis?
Not Lynn Whitfield. Nah.
I think he's talking about Jennifer Lewis.
Lynn Whitfield is a hell of a toxic woman.
She got a real high voice.
High voice.
Yeah, she got. Damn, I can't even think.
You talking about Cassie Davis, the dark skin
lady?
Yes.
Is that the name?
You talking about Cassie Davis?
Yeah, I like her, but she's a good actor. She's been in the game.
She's really good. I like that. You talking about because she was in the Medea Goes to Jail play, and she was in House of Pain.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh my gosh! Well, Aunt Cassie, I like you.
Damn, I can't even think of that.
Sterling,
I can't think of no movie. I know. We on live, so I can't even think about it right now.
Damn. The names escape me, bro.
I will say one of my top 3.
Give us one.
Go ahead.
Zendaya.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving Zendaya right now. I'm also loving just how we're bringing more Black up and coming actresses like Issa Rae. Even though I consider Issa Rae more of a comedian than an actress, I feel like the Insecure series alone put Issa in a place of just, it was amazing. If you have never watched Insecure,
facts.
What rock are you living under?
I feel like even like Issa Rae, she's such a boss, bro. It's hard to even call her an actor. It's almost an insult to just call it. She's a producer, writer, actor. Like she put that shit together. It was on YouTube at first, right?
Yep.
And they came to her and picked it up. She didn't. I don't believe that she pitched it. I don't believe that's how it went.
I'll say
they came to her.
I don't know how to say her first name. Mahalia Mahalia Obama's oldest daughter. She co-wrote Swarm.
Really?
No, you're talking about his youngest. Malia. Malia's his youngest.
No, I'm
Sasha's.
the oldest.
Oh no, you're right. Malia's the oldest. You're right. And Sasha,
she's the one. She co-wrote Swarm.
Really?
She was on there. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's
so
good.
kudos to her because that, like I said, I fuck with Swarm.
And I'm gonna give it all time. I feel like it's somebody I'm forgetting, but Angela Bassett is gotta be somewhere in that top 3. Angela Bassett gotta be somewhere up there in the top 3.
And we can also shout out Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. And how hard she's been going for that.
Can I have another one in there? I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off. Queen Latifah, man.
I was gonna say
Queen Latifah, boy. Queen Latifah is a sleep. Like we really.
She's a sleeper.
I don't know her as the artist, the music artist, but just as an actor, that career alone,
Hustle
bro,
she did really good in Hustle.
Absolutely.
And even movies prior to that, but just that was her most recent role. She did amazing in Hustle. I loved it. I like her and Adam Sandler's chemistry in that movie. I think it was really good because to the naked eye, like knowing that in real life Queen Latifah identifies as a, woman who, she's a lesbian woman, to see her play a heterosexual woman and have that chemistry. Oh, you're great acting just off the gate.
But like, she got like Just Right. It's another one. Beauty Shop.
She got hits. Yeah, she got hits.
Queen Latifah was even in Barbershop too.
Yeah,
Barbershop too.
Yeah.
I liked, and this is kind of I'm trying to think of the series I watched. I watched Wednesday. I like Jenny Ortega. I think she's up and coming too.
Okay,
She's not black, but just a woman that's like doing good in the acting space.
I like
so we talk about mute. So we do music and acting. We did acting.
Okay, so let me get your top 2 current R&B artists that are female. Current top 2, no particular order.
Current.
I like Coco Jones right now. How do you feel about her?
Coco Jones, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin.
R&B, that's my cousin.
Oh, you say R&B artist or?
We'll do R&B
she can
first.
sing for. I really do
We'll
like that. She can really sing.
I don't think she on that level. I think it's like a whole lot of names that come before her. I'll say that.
Well, no, we're just saying current.
Oh, just
current. Yeah.
You said top.
Like
2.
who you're listening to currently.
Oh, okay. That's different. It's saying top 2.
He was saying no to Coco Jones.
Yeah, because he was like, there's other people that go ahead of her. Yeah, in real life, but we're talking about right now what you're currently listening to.
I mean, I guess
she can sing better than anybody you gonna say.
SZA is like crazy in terms of music, bro. I'm not. So you talking about pure singing ability, or we talking about music?
Both. We'll give it both. We'll give it both.
You gotta put me. It must be some Coco Jones I ain't heard that's better than
you heard her sing
acapella,
but better. No, but you talking about her singing ability or her music?
Singing ability.
So I'm talking about music.
Okay, well, she even got more years in the game, I guess.
Okay. SZA, it's hard for me to think of
I like
current
SZA.
R&B artist that's fucking with SZA. Even though the last album was kind of a little.
I loved it.
Women have said it's a little, I'm a loser. It wasn't.
But that's because we don't like to be portrayed a certain way, and we'll come back to that. But SZA really touched on what those emotions really feel like deep down, and she put it out in the forefront. Right. Like, dang, sis, you loud. Like that's really what it was. It was like you're just too loud.
That's facts.
But okay, Sterling, who you got?
Female R&B artist
that you're listening to right now that's in your rotation.
I gotta get y'all hit me to Coco Jones. I gotta send me an album.
I just had a name.
You haven't listened to ICU by Coco Jones? That's crazy.
I'm not here.
Damn, what's her name?
Well, I'll throw this out there. I've been listening to Tori Kelly released a song recently, and you guys probably aren't even familiar with her, but she released a song recently, and I think she would be great for you guys to check out. Also, to just naming off people, Doechii, she released a song called What It Is with Kodak Black, and Doechii definitely teeters that line more of being a singer/rapper, but still really good black woman. I think y'all should,
I like
take
Georgia.
a peek into that.
Wasn't Georgia Davis, right? Is that her name?
Georgia Smith?
Possibly.
Smith. What the hell am I talking about? Georgia Smith.
Her voice is unique. Her voice is unique. I like that about her.
There's a girl that had a Kiana Lede.
Oh, I love her.
Kiana Lede.
Let's talk about people people don't know. So that's your sleeper. I got one sleeper, and she's good.
Kiana Lede is
if you say
fire.
Alex Vaughn or King Sis, I'm gonna just be like,
I just used her in my reel.
Ooh,
Go Moreau.
Okay, you got to put me on.
She's hard.
You got to put me on.
I just used her in one of my last reels for No Cap.
And also, while we're talking about Women's History Month, I guess you guys can take like 2 seconds and shout out a woman in your life who is making history.
I'm interviewing
you guys. Just take a quick 2 seconds and shout out a woman in your life who has brought, joy, who's doing great things this month. Just one woman.
Well, she gonna love this. Fucking pot.
Just give us one woman. Ladies, y'all welcome. Give us one woman.
Yo, this is
you gotta go to Safeguard. Gotta go Mondoose. Mondoose, I love you.
It's funny because at first I was going to say shout out your mamas, but I was like, nah, let me spice it up.
Mama.
Damn.
Go ahead.
What is it again?
So, one woman in your life right now that's doing great things that you just want to shout out and just give her some notice.
I'm gonna shout out my shorty. I ain't gonna tell you her name or what she got going on because she gonna have her own episode. You know what I'm saying? She got her own episode.
I can't wait.
Episode.
Y'all should do a relationship pod. Let me moderate that.
When we do that, I'm going viral. We gonna take it there.
Yeah, we can go viral.
Let me moderate that episode.
We'll call it double date.
But no. In all seriousness, give her her flowers.
No. I want to shout out my shorty. I'm not gonna tell y'all her name or what she does right now, but you know what I'm saying? She a hustler. I fuck with it, man. She's got a great talent, man. She's phenomenal. I like to call her that's why I tell her. She always kicks my ass in spades, card games. I'm like, yo, what the fuck you be cheating? Like, it's one thing when somebody's better than you, and it's different when they just get a fire hand every time. Mm-hmm. And she's the type to get a fire hand and just kick my ass and not like trouble. Just good luck. And I was like, yo, you're pretty as hell, body fire, athletic. She just what I described. That's what shorty is.
That's what you want.
And it was like it's like a thing of like. I always told shorty that like yo, you're God's favorite, and I'm God's second favorite because he sent you to me type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I level game. Right,
okay, wait, but
y'all niggas can steal that. That's high level game. I bless y'all with that shit. High level game. So,
okay,
I like that.
What you got?
Well, I'm gonna shout my shorty out, and let me tell you, I'm gonna
die for you.
I'm gonna die for it. I planned it out. This is how we talking about strategic. I planned it out because I knew like she was gonna be. I didn't know how good she was till I got her though. You know, like got her, I was like. Damn, you really hurt. Like, you was nothing I thought that I was going for. But now that I'm here, and she teaches me a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been in a lot of relationships. So I'm used to playing the, you know what I'm saying, the quick game. I move. But, like, being with somebody for a long time is what she's used to. So I'm learning how to do that. I'm learning to replace masculinity with vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? So I have to get through that sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I got to be not even like just defensiveness. Sometimes I'm real defensive. Some shit she'll say. I be like, I don't gotta do but I'm just trying to learn how to be more vulnerable. Because I don't think I always tell her this. I'm like, I'm not coming at you. We're on the same team. Even when we argue, like I'm not coming at you. I'm not trying to defeat what you got going on. But I might have a converse opinion. That don't mean I'm coming for you though. I'm still on your team, but I just want to voice my opinion. But I've learned how to leverage that and figure out like, all right, this might be coming off a little defensive. Let me be more in my vulnerable, you know what I'm saying, space and figure out how that works. So I would say, you said the good shit you just said. I would just say she's teaching. I'm going to give her props. She's teaching me a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's, as a man, like I'm used to doing everything myself. My business, my brand, my job. As men, period, we just used to doing everything ourselves. So you got somebody that's teaching you and doing some things that you have never done. It's like, shit, I just got to let the reins go a little bit. So it's tough. I feel we there. We getting it.
Ladies, doesn't it make y'all feel good to know that the men that are operating this podcast are actually in relationships? They're not just sitting around.
Yeah, tell our girls that because they be sick when we have females.
They like, you interviewing another woman?
On the weekend. Listen, y'all are very lucky, and just in general, thank you guys for having me back.
While we're here, is there a man in your life that is not related to you that you wanna talk about that has done great things for you maybe in the past, maybe in the
we gotta give KHAYLA her flowers too after that because we talked about it off pod.
We gonna put her on the hot seat. Go ahead.
I just want to shout out and this is gonna be very off the rip, but I just want to shout out my little brother.
I said that wasn't related to you. Hell no.
Okay, you said it wasn't related to me.
That wasn't related to you.
Okay, well, if I'm thinking of someone that's not related to me,
you're definitely not say names.
I'm not, but my male best friend, he knows who he is.
Okay.
A lot of women aren't blessed to have male friends who aren't attracted to them or or aren't trying to get anything from them. And me, I'm blessed to say that I have one who legit looks out for my best interest. He calls me on my crap. He's one of the reasons why even with me coming on this show, I know how to conduct myself. You know what I'm saying? So like just having a genuine male best friend in your corner, women, it's imperative. Make sure it's a male that has your best interest at heart and just ain't out here trying to get the best of you when the next man moves along. Like me and him have legit been friends for years. So I want to shout him out and I'm grateful for him.
That's fire.
That's beautiful.
And look, even though we did all that, we got to give KHAYLA her flowers too.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people been hitting me. I told you this off air. People hit me like, yo, I got on because of this episode, but like my favorite episode now is the KHAYLA one. And we've been messaging since you left. Like KHAYLA got to come back on. We want KHAYLA.
Get KHAYLA back on.
Yeah, right. So like, it's good. I'm glad that you came again.
Facts.
Obviously, a friend of the show. You were a friend to us before the pod even started. Facts. So like, supported my business. When I told my cousin that you came on, he was like, "That's sure they came to the house for the car wash." I only remember my cousin was with me. But like, you know what I'm saying? You don't put a good impression with people to where like now it's like you on the pod and you obviously building your brand and shit. So like, what you got going on is great. When you on here, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Anytime.
Made me cry.
You lucky we did not drink your she left a bottle here.
The Bel Air,
she left a bottle of Bel Air. We just been here for 5-6 episodes.
It has been.
Once we got past the first episodes, it was easy. But the first, once we got past it, the first episode, I was looking at STERL. STERL was looking at me like, "Hey, we gonna drink it?" I was like,
They love me, y'all, because they didn't drink my champagne. I appreciate it. But no, thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you to the fans, people who want me to come back. I hope to come back for more episodes, and I hope to see you guys at the Adult Field Day, April 22nd.
And that's what I'm tell you people what you got going on.
Okay, so you guys know my name is KHAYLA J. Jayhova, JAIHOVAH _ on all platforms. I'm a brand ambassador for Remedy by Ari as well as Liquid IV. And April 22nd here in Charlotte, North Carolina, me and my best friend Niall are hosting an adult-only field day, 11 to 5. Hit up the guys at the Epicenter if you guys want tickets or if you just want to
spell it.
DAEC.
You sound like BRIL. Take us out.
Okay.
Take us out.
Thank you guys for joining thank you guys for joining this episode of the Epicenter podcast. That's DAEPICENTRE, the British way. It's your girl KHAYLA J, and it's great to see you guys.
That's how you know she real. We up out of here. We ended on that. We gotta say shit.